Welcome to Airchecks. The Men from the Ministry is a British radio comedy series broadcast by the BBC between 1962 and 1977, starring Wilfred Hyde-White, Richard Murdoch and, from 1966, when he replaced Hyde-White, Derek Guyler. Written and produced by Edward Taylor with contributions from John Graham, and with some early episodes written by Johnny Mortimer and Brian Cook, it ran for 13 series, totaling 145 half-hour episodes and 2 specials. The series is about lazy, bungling, incompetent civil servants. Number 1, Roland Hamilton Jones, Wilfred Hyde-White, and later Derek Lennox Brown, Derek Guyler. Number 2, Richard Lamb, Richard Murdoch, with their dim, typo-prone, teenage secretary, Mildred Murfin, Norma Ronald, all watched over by the lecherous, pompous, self-seeking permanent Undersecretary Sir Gregory Pitkin, Roy Dotrice and later Ronald Baddeley, all members of the British Civil Service based in Whitehall. The stories centered on their General Assistance Department, analogous to the Department of Administrative Affairs in the later Yes Minister, which helps other governmental departments. Instead of assistance, the department creates mix-ups, misunderstandings and cock-ups that lead to a telling off from Sir Gregory, who sees his hard-earned civil service career and pension disappearing. Here is episode 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 of The Men of the Ministry.
We present Wilfred Hyde-White and Richard Murdoch in The Men from the Ministry, a weekly tribute to that patient army of public servants through whose efforts government is administered. Selfless men dedicated to service in so many forms, all of which must be completed in triplicate. One of the many functions of the civil service is to back up Britain's defence chiefs as they strive to keep our forces ready for action.
Gentlemen, tomorrow's exercise Water Act has been carefully planned to test the Army's ability to cross a wide stretch of river and hit the enemy for 6. Now, I want to check that all preparations are on top line. Marine rescue equipment?
All right on, sir.
Good. Rubberized clothing and waterproof weapons?
Taken care of, sir.
Seasickness tablets?
Oh, you order, sir.
Right. Now, can anyone see any snags?
Well, sir.
Yes, speak up.
Sir, we haven't got any boats.
Good point. Exercise postponed for a week. Brigadier Cook, Signal War Office, get hold of 5,000 light rubber boats. All right, briefing over.
Signal here from the Army, Mr. Merriman. They want 5,000 light rubber boats for an exercise. Yes, well, get it in hand, would you? You mean buy the boats ourselves? Oh, dear, no. Would you never learn, Capstick? Pass it on to someone. First rule of administration. Pass everything on quickly. Unless, of course, it's very urgent, in which case you pass it on very quickly. Yes, sir. How about General Assistance Department? They're supposed to help any branch that's busy. Yes. Well, you'll get them through Senior Liaison Officer Business. SLOB. Oh, Sir Gregory Pitkin. Yes, he'll tell General Assistance Department we're too hard-pressed to handle this. Now, let's get back to this 8-letter word beginning with L. Lethargy, do you think? Hello, General Assistance Department, Richard Lamb speaking. You want what kind of help? No, I'm sorry, that equipment's fully employed already. Goodbye.
Who was that?
Ministry of Fuel and Power wanting to borrow our oil stove. Honestly, well, it seems we're at everyone's beck and call.
Never mind, too. Remember, we don't have to help with any requests unless they come through Sir Gregory Pitkin. Remember that. So let's get back to the problem on hand.
Yes.
You know, I think we ought to try an entirely new layout. Why don't we put the waste paper bin over there and fit the ball into it with a wedge?
Look, son, I've got an awful lot of jobs waiting for me in my office. Besides, you've won 3 and 6 already.
Aha, then you need practice, my dear boy, you need practice. Yeah, double or quit this time, if you like, and you can use the large American ball.
No, really, I've got much too much to do. I mean, the plans for the office outing, the poster for the social club's bingo night, so if you excuse me, I think I'll just put off...
All right. Now, let's assume we're bunkered here behind the filing cabinet. Put the waste paper bin over there. That's it. Bit of wrist needed here, I think. Oh, pretty good, although I say it myself.
Sorry to interrupt, Mr. Hamilton Jones. The man from the Commonwealth Culture Council's here to see you.
Oh, dear, I can't see him today, I'm afraid. Tell him I'm tied up. There's a good girl.
Yes.
April, pop out. Get the midday papers for me, would you please?
The racing edition.
Yes,
sir.
Thank you. Culture Council, bunch of loafers. Now, let's try that shot again. Oh, dear, I've hit the telephone. Oh, my goodness. Oh. I say, I'm terribly sorry. I sliced my shot, I'm afraid.
Hello, what are you talking about? Is that Hamilton Jones?
Oh, is that you, Sir Gregory? Good morning, Sir
Look,
Gregory.
I've got an important job for General Assistance Department.
Yes, I'm afraid we're up to our eyes here, Sir Gregory.
So the War Office. That's why they've passed this over to you.
Oh.
They want you to buy 5,000 rubber boats.
My word, that's a lot of boats, isn't it? They're having some kind of regatta?
Exercise.
Oh, exercise. Splendid, yes. Some of those War Office chaps could do with a bit of exercise. They're flabby, aren't they? Very flabby. Solid boating will do them good, you know.
These boats are urgently required for an army amphibious exercise.
Oh.
Look, get your secretary to make a note of it right away.
Yes.
Or better still, let me speak to her.
My secretary, well, I'm always sorry. I'm afraid she's out at the moment. Sir Pitt, Sir Greg, Sir Grog. She's gone out to fetch some important papers.
Write it down yourself, man.
Yes. What?
You make sure you get it right.
Yes, I will.
5,000 light rubber boats.
Don't go too quickly.
5,000 light rubber boats.
Yes, yes.
For an army exercise.
Yes, well, I'll jot it down on my blotter.
And get it in hand immediately.
Don't worry, Sir Greg, Sir Pitt, I beg your pardon. Don't worry. I'll give it my full personal attention, and do give my kind regards to Lady Greg, Lady Pitt, Lady... Oh, dear, fellows cut us off.
Your papers, Mr. Hamilton
Ah,
Jones.
there you are, April. Just had my friend Sir Gregory on the phone.
Oh.
Wondering if we could help him out with a job. I promised to have my full personal attention, so I want Mr. Lamb to get on with it straight away.
What sort of job is it exactly?
Oh, I don't know, some nonsense from the War Office. I've written all the details on my blotter here.
I see.
I shan't be in for the rest of the day. If War Office ring, tell them I'm at the Board of Trade.
And if the Board of Trade rings?
Tell them I'm at the War Office. Usually works pretty well. Oh, you've got my papers. Splendid, splendid. Goodbye. Get that thing in hand, won't you?
Now, what's he written on his blotting pad? 3:30, Speedy Edie can't win.
Ah, April, where's H.J.?
Gone, Mr. Lamb, to a better place. But he made a note of something he wants you to do. I'm trying to find it on his blotter.
Oh, perhaps I can help. Let's see. Rejuveno, 7 and 6pence a box.
Ah, this must be it. Buy 5,000 something for army exercise. Can you make out these 3 words?
Yeah, 5,000 light, looks like rubber boots.
Yes, you're right about rubber. But is that boot, sir?
Sure of me. I must get this in hand right away. I'll tell my secretary to do it at once.
Hadn't we better wait and check with H.J.?
No, just leave it all to me. I'm a chap who makes a decision and acts immediately.
So I noticed the other night.
Oh, yes, well, I do apologize about that, April. Miss Adams, I'm afraid it was the effect of the film. You see, all those South Sea Islanders with their primitive orgies, and the passion and the color, and that fantastic ritual with the love goddess. I felt this overwhelming desire to hold your hand. I do hope you'll forgive me. How about coming out for a spot of lunch today?
It's very good of you, Mr. Lamb, but
That's all settled then. I'll just slip into my office and get those boots ordered, and then we'll go. Back in a second. I've got an important job to do, Mildred, and I want you to do it at once.
I'm still doing your laundry list, Mr. Lamb.
Yes, well, you can leave that now. Anyway, you've got it wrong. The please starch goes against the collars, not the underwear. Now, this is important. I want you to order 5,000 light rubber boots for dispatch to the War Office. Oh, dear, yes. I suppose you don't know what to do you? All right, I'll give you a letter. While I'm out, get the name and address of our footwear supplier from the file and send it off. Now, take this in shorthand. Dear sirs, please supply... Oh, of course, you can't do shorthand. Honestly, I don't know how you got in here.
Well, I could do it when I took my test. Only I never liked doing it, so I've forgotten.
Take it straight down on your typewriter. Ready? Dear sirs, please supply us with 5,000 boots, light, rubber, soldiers for the use of War Office specifications. All right. Let me see. War Office usual type. No, rub it out afterwards. Standard sizes, charge, General Assistance Department, yours, etc. Have you got that?
If we are going out to lunch, we'd better go now, or we'll be late back.
Oh, yes, of course. Forge my signature on the letter, will you, Mildred? Come along, April. I say, I'm so glad you're going to have lunch with me.
Very kind of you to ask me, Mr. Lamb. I hope you're not going to be too extravagant.
Not at all. I've got quite enough sandwiches for two. And I know a jolly good seat on the embankment where we can watch the coal barges go by. Come along.
My dear fellow, of course you can have my cheque. What are you talking about? Just thought you'd sooner wait till Godiva's won the 4:30 today, and then you'll be owing me. Save a lot of paperwork, you know. What? Well, I can't say I like your attitude. I've a good mind to place my bets elsewhere. Where? How dare you talk to me? Now, look here. No, I didn't mean it. No. Here, hold on. Hello. I haven't given you my bet on Godiva yet. Hello. Oh, dear. Poor old Godiva. Another outing with nothing on. Can't be good for her.
Sorry to butt in, sir, but the man from the Culture Council's still waiting to see you.
Yes, my soul, I've forgotten all about it. You must be pretty tired of waiting by now.
Doesn't seem so, sir.
Good, then he won't mind waiting a little longer, will he? Tell him I'm tied up or tied down or both, whatever it is.
Very good, sir.
Thank you. I just thought he had something better to do than hang round. GAD-1?
Got you at last.
Oh.
Your phone's been engaged for 20 minutes.
Oh, yes, Sir Gregg. Sir Pitt, I beg your pardon. Yes, Sir Gregory, what can I do for you? I hope you're well, and your ladyship.
What about the boats?
What about the what again? Oh, boats. What?
The War Office
Yes.
asked for the 5,000 rubber boats.
Oh.
Last week. What
Yes.
about it?
What about it now? How interesting. Yes, all in hand. We're leaving no stone unturned.
Well, when are the War Office going to have them?
Very shortly, I think, Sir Gregory. You can rely on us.
When?
Oh, very shortly. What was that again?
The rubber boats, man.
Oh, yes.
Tell whoever doesn't work at your place, War Office want their 5,000 rubber boats. They want them now.
Oh, good heavens. Just a moment, Sir Gregory. Miss Adams asked Mr. Lamb come in, will you? Now, Sir Gregg, are you there? I'll have it all buttoned up for you. And my kindest regards to Lady Gregg. Yes. Oh, dear, that fellow's cut us off again. Rubber boats? I can't know anything about that. Funny thing to ask for. You must have having some kind of regatta, I suppose.
Thank you very much, April. Morning, one. If it's about the holiday rota, I've marked you off for the whole of August, as usual.
Thank you very much. No, it's about that order we're handling for War Office. Top priority job. I hope you haven't forgotten.
Oh, yes, they've just been delivered. I was going down to inspect them before sending them off to the War Office.
Good. What sort of size did you order?
Standard sizes.
I mean, how many men do you think they'll get in each?
Oh, I should say that... I beg your pardon?
Well, obviously they'll aim to get 2 or 3 soldiers in each, don't you think?
Well, I know the government are trying to make economies, but that seems ridiculous.
Ridiculous? May I ask why?
Well, if the army can't give each soldier his own pair of rubber boots, well, I mean, they won't have a leg to stand on.
Did you say rubber boots?
That's what we're talking about, isn't it? The 5,000 rubber boots you told me to get. They're already downstairs.
Are you all right, Mr. Hamilton Jones?
I think I'll just sit down for a minute.
Right, I'll go and check over the rubber boots. Then we can...
The order was for 5,000 light rubber boats. B-O-A-T-S, boats.
We can get them sent to the... what? Oh, thank goodness we're both established staff.
Established you may be. But remember, Sir Gregory can still have you transferred to records at Inverglockey.
Oh, not that. That's in the Outer Hebrides. He wouldn't do that just for one tiny mistake.
Perhaps I might just state the position. War Office urgently want 5,000 rubber boats, which we haven't got. What we have got is 5,000 rubber boots, which nobody wants, and we'll have to pay for. Now, if you've got that into your head, you've got it in a nutshell.
Well, I suppose Inverglockey wouldn't be so bad in the warm weather.
Until they don't have any.
Look, why don't you phone the boot people and see if they'll take them back?
Good idea, April. Can I borrow the intercom? Mildred, get the name and number of the firm we got those boots from, will you? And better bring a copy of your letter in as well.
I must say, too, I'm very disappointed in you. Have I got to do everything myself?
But look here, one, this would never have happened if you'd written it down properly, instead of scribbling on your blotter between your pool sperm and a recipe for homemade gin.
Now then, steady. Are you still hoping to get a patent carpet in your office?
Yes.
Well,
I'm sorry.
I should say so.
Here you are, Mr. Lamb. Fosdyke Footwear Factory.
Oh, thank you. Get me Upper Clayswick 4422, will you, and ask for the manager. Oh, dear, and I thought today would be a happy day. I had a good omen.
What was that?
Well, while I was shaving, the toast caught fire as usual.
Is that good?
No, but today the coffee boiled over and put it out.
Oh.
Hello? Fosdick Footwear, this is the General Assistance Department of the Ministry.
Morning, Fosdick here. Get the boots, all right?
Yes.
Oh, a lovely boot. Worth double the price. Strong, smart, durable.
Yes, well, we were wondering if you'd mind taking them back.
Never. Take them back. I've had the whole staff on overtime to make them for you.
But they're strong, smart, durable, and worth double...
Rubbish, there's no market for them. Apart from anything else, what can I do with 5,000 boots, all the same foot?
Well, surely you could... What did you say?
I said there'd be no use to us. It seemed an odd order in your letter, but we thought you must have a use for them.
Odd? What's odd about our letter? Mildred, let me see that copy. Dear sirs, please supply us with 5,000 boots, right, rubber, soldiers for the use of... Oh, I say...
Oh, that's funny. It sounds as if you said right boot.
Mildred, you didn't... Mr. Fosdick, you couldn't...
Aye, 5,000 right boots. It did seem odd. Like the army hopping into battle on one foot. But you know, ours not to reason why, you know.
But couldn't you see it was a typing error? Why didn't you query it?
Well, we don't query ministry orders. Not since that time you asked for 200 black boots with open toes. We queried that, didn't we? And you told us it was for a team of Morris dancers on a British Council tour of the Middle East. Now we just get on with it.
Yes, but
now
Mr.
look here, 5,000 right boots you ordered, and 5,000 right boots you've got. And I'd like my account settled quickly, please. I'll not detain you no longer.
Oh. Mildred.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Lamb. I never could get the L and the R sorted out. I think I need a new machine.
Yeah, I think you need a... I'll tell you later. Oh, 5,000 right-footed boots. What are we going to do?
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm going out to lunch. I shan't be back this afternoon, Miss Adams.
But one, the boots, the War Office.
I'd say the first thing was to order the rubber boots for the War Office and get that side second.
Look here, I'm sure we're entitled to a bigger hat stand, aren't we? Have a look into the regulations, will you please, Miss Adams?
But one, this is a crisis. You can't just walk out on it.
Well, if you want my advice, I'd say the first thing to do is to order the rubber boats for the War Office and get that side settled. Miss Adams, you can see to that.
Very good, sir.
But what about the boots? How do we pay for them? And what are we going to do with them?
Very good question, too. Very neatly put. Have a nice weekend, everybody.
The unflappable man.
Only till he realizes that he's going to get it in the neck the same as me. Then the boot will be on the other side of his face. When Sir Gregory finds out about this, he'll go through the department like the beast from 20,000 fathoms.
No use panicking.
But just think when this gets out. Public money sent on 5,000 boots, one-footed, unwanted, no one for the use of. There'll be an official inquiry. Questions in the House. All that stuff about government waste.
Squanderbugs at the ministry. There was an article about it in one of the Sunday papers.
Oh, the Sunday papers.
It said, expose these guilty men.
Mildred, this is all your fault. Go back to the office and file the redundancy reports.
We haven't got any redundancy reports.
We have now, and yours is the first one. 5,000 boots. 5,000 boots. 5,000 pairs we might have sold, but 5,000 all the same foot is like trying to sell a skipping rope to a man with lumbago.
Wait a minute. I think you've got it.
What, lumbago?
That's the answer. You said 5,000 pairs we could sell.
Well, obviously people could use pairs.
Well, then all we have to do is to order 5,000 left boots and make up the pairs.
April, you're right. You're marvelous. 5,000 left boots to make up the pairs. Then we can advertise them in those Saturday paper postal bargains, you know, where they offer things like ex-naval officers' horsehair underwear, ex-WAFs outsized linoleum pajamas. Oh, there's only one snag.
What's that?
Will Fosdick help after all this? I mean, could he send 5,000 left boots by Monday before the storm breaks?
Oh, of course he will. More overtime for the staff.
Quick, what was that number again? Hello, get me Mr. Fosdick at Upper Clayswick 4422, please. 5,000 left boots for Monday. Oh, I hope he can do it.
Morning, Wilkins.
Afternoon, Mr. Hamilton Jones.
Yes, I do like to be beside the sea. Morning, Miss Muffin.
Afternoon, sir.
Yes, I do like to... Morning, Miss Adams.
Good afternoon, sir.
I hope you had a pleasant weekend.
Yes, thank you. Mr. Lamb's waiting in your office.
Oh, yes, I know what he's worried about.
And the gentleman from the Culture Council's in the waiting room again.
Good. Best place for him. Morning, too.
Yeah, good afternoon, man. I hope you had a good weekend.
Yes, thanks, my dear boy. Thank you very much. Racing on Friday and Saturday, spotted golf yesterday. Had Lord and Lady Westbury round in the evening for cocktails and What's My Line.
Oh, what's fun. How was the golf?
I did rather well, as a matter of fact. I went round the dining room in 42.
Don't you think it's time you tried a round on the proper golf course?
Oh, don't frighten me. All in good time, my dear fellow. Mustn't run before we can walk. I muffed a chip shot at the 9th yesterday. Put a bit of a dent in the hi-fi speaker.
Oh, I am sorry.
You know, I must get that shot right. Be a good fellow. Shove the paper bin over there, will you? And pass the balls from the filing cabinet. You know, the top secret drawer. That's it. Yes. Thank you.
I hope you didn't let our little footwear crisis spoil your weekend.
What? What's that?
Only, I've got some good news for you.
Oh.
After you'd gone on Friday, I had an idea I think will solve it.
Oh, that's better. That's more like it. Crisis? Oh, you mean the boot business? I fixed it all on Friday afternoon. No need to get excited about these things, you know. Move the bin back a bit, would you?
You fixed the boot business?
Yes, of course. Question of getting rid of 5,000 right boots. Was that what you're talking about? I met this fellow in the bar at Sandown, some kind of dealer, I think he was. He agreed to take the lot. Sent his van to pick him up on Saturday.
He said you mean you sold the boots? They've gone?
Of course he won't pay our price, my boy. Breaking him up, I think he said. Still, the main thing is we've got rid of him. Nothing as bad as being stuck with a lot of right boots, eh?
Oh, I wouldn't bank on that one.
Now, you said you had some good news for me.
I'm not sure you're going to want to hear it now.
I'll just try that shot again.
Sorry to interrupt, but I thought you might like to know the 5,000 left boots have arrived.
5,000 left. What? I don't understand.
I wonder what the digs are like at Inverglockey. Mother, here, do you read this on the front page? Great boot scandal. £5 million worth of rubber boots, all left-footed, lie rotting in London. Ordered by a government department, they have been neither used nor paid for. When asked about this, a government spokesman, who would not give his name, said he had nothing to say. Shit. Isn't it marvellous, eh? 5 million quid down the drain, and you had to pay 10 bob on your new teeth.
I should like to ask the Minister if he is aware of reports that £10 million of public money has been spent on redundant left boots. Several examples of government waste are causing grave public concern, especially these left-footed boots. And I should like to know what steps the government proposes to take in them.
April? Is it true the government are going to resign over those boots? It's not quite as bad as that, Mildred. They're still giving out that a small number of boots have been stockpiled for reasons it would not be in the national interest to reveal. Oh. Well, what does that mean?
It means they're in dead trouble. Sir Gregory's given H.J. 24 hours to find a good use for the boots. After that, it's the axe.
The axe?
Mm-hmm.
You mean Mr. Lyme and H.J. beheaded in the Tower of London? They wouldn't do that just for... Oh, I hope they let us watch.
Oh, no. It's just an expression. It means... Oh, I can't stop now. I've really got to do something about this chap from the Culture Council. I'll have to interrupt them, even if they are having a crisis meeting.
This is urgent, too. The trickiest problem we've had. We can't relax until we get the answer.
Yes, but Van...
There's no doubt about it, my dear fellow. Don't argue. Look what it says in the newspaper. The competition closes tomorrow. If we can't find those 10 pictures of Adam Faith, how can I place them in order of merit?
But the boots, what are we going to do about the boots?
I can't understand it. I cut them out every day, one a day for 10 days, and tucked them under the telephone. One of that cleaner's in love with him or something and taking them.
Honestly, Van, this department is on the brink of disaster, and all you can think of is winning 50 top twist records of your choice.
No. You're quite wrong there. They're also offering £100 in cash. You can have the records. You can play them on your island in the Hebrides.
Oh. Don't remind me. Honestly, I can't see any way out. 5,000 left boots. The mind boggles. If there's one thing I hate, it's a boggled mind.
Now, come along, my dear fellow. No use getting excited. Keep calm. You'll find everything will knit together all right.
Sorry to interrupt you, sir, but the man from the Culture Council's still waiting to see
I
you.
can't possibly see him now. I'm sorry. Far too much on hand.
He's been here every day since a week last Monday.
Why didn't he have a proper appointment?
He did, sir. A week last Monday.
Oh.
I think we'd better see him, man. We can't afford to upset any more people.
All right, then. Show him in.
Yes, sir.
How do they expect us to get any work done with all these visitors? I don't know.
Well, we shan't be getting many visitors at Inverglocky. The boat only goes out from the mainland every other Tuesday.
Now, don't be morbid, too.
24 hours to get rid of 5,000 left boots. That's more than 3.5 boots a minute.
Mr. Challoner from the Culture Council.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Oh, nice to see you. I do apologize for keeping you waiting. Bit of a crisis, you know.
Not at all. The boot's on the other foot. Oh, no. I who should apologize for pestering you, but the Culture Council are organizing this tour of Java, and we heard that you were the people to fit us out.
Yes. Well, the thing is, Mr. Tack...
We want you to supply us with tropical kit, mosquito netting, medical supply, all that kind of thing.
Yes, of course. I'm awfully sorry, but you see...
Well, we're rather pleased, because this will be the first cultural mission to the Javanese headhunters. Aim is to show them the British way of life. You know, the sort of thing, discussion groups, Midsummer Night's Dream, and, of course, it's sport. Cricket, football. They play a bit of football already, apparently. All barefoot, of course. But we're going to teach them to wear boots.
Yes. But the point is...
Just a minute, Mr. Did you say you were going to get the headhunters to wear boots? After football, you see, more civilized than barefoot. Don't know how they'll take to it, of course. No, it's bound to feel strange at first. Unless, of course, you could get them used to it gradually, you know, say, start them off with one boot each. Start them off? I say, what a marvelous idea. You mean every player has one boot and one bare foot?
Yes, that's it. What a good idea. Compromise, you see. Traditional British method of introducing reforms, my dear sir.
You're absolutely right. The only snag is, where on earth could one get a large number of boots all the same foot? Well, I don't want to promise anything or make you too excited, but I think we might just be able to help you out there. I say, you general assistance chaps are remarkable. You sure you don't mind? Not at all. I'll have them delivered with all your other stuff. Oh, splendid. Now, look, I mustn't keep you any longer. I've got to choose the plays we're putting on for the headhunters. I thought Midsummer Night's Dream, The School for Scandal. And how about one for the pot? I say you have been time. Well, cheerio. Not at all, cheerio.
There you are, too. I said you'd find it would all knit together.
Yes, but I didn't think we'd find as big a knit as that.
Now, come along. You better set about getting the supplies for the Culture Council, and I must phone Sir Gregory and tell him I'd saved the day. Oh, good. Splendid. These wrist straps, they make all the difference, you know. Oh, April, just in time. Hand me my ball back. There's a good girl.
Don't you think you ought to give some attention to those cheese import licenses? They've been on your desk for 3 weeks.
Now, don't fuss, Miss Alice. Don't fuss. The cheese will be all the better for keeping. Hopefully they've got it in a cool place, I hope.
Well, the Board of Trade were on about it again this morning.
The essential thing, you know, in public service is to keep calm. Now, what about that trouble last month with those wretched boots, remember? Supposing I got het up then. Instead, I quietly thought out a solution.
Oh, that reminds me. It's time the payment came in from the Culture Council expedition. We need it to balance our accounts.
Now, don't worry. Of course it'll come in.
Excuse me, but the Culture Council payment for those boots has just arrived from Java.
Good. We must get it over to the Treasury straight away. You see, I told you. Sir Gregory will be pleased.
I wouldn't be too sure of that one.
Well, of course he will. They paid in full, haven't they? What are you looking so worried about?
I suppose they've paid in full, but I'm not quite certain of the rate of exchange.
Rate of exchange, my dear fellow? What on earth are you talking about?
Well, I mean, that is... how do you work out the value of 6 tons of coconuts and 50 shrunken heads?
What? What will Sir Gregory say?
In this program, the men from the ministry were Wilfred Hyde-White and Richard Murdoch. Other essential personnel were Roy de Vries, Diana Olsen, Edwin Apps, David Graham, and Norma Ronald. The Men from the Ministry is written and produced by Edward Taylor.
The Men from the Ministry from October 1962.
And now it's time to meet the Men from the Ministry. We present Wilfred Hyde-White and Richard Murdoch as the Men from the Ministry, a weekly tribute to all those who work in government offices and to all the others who spend their days there as well. We are concerned, as usual, with the General Assistance Department, that tireless body which exists to help any other department that's overloaded. This week we find them attached to the Ministry of Aviation, and as we join them in their office, high over Whitehall, they are studying the problems of aerodynamics.
Whatever you say, I'm convinced that one has the greatest potential for long-distance flight.
I'm not denying that, but the point is endurance isn't everything. One ought to consider style, grace, elegance. That's why I prefer this one.
Well, I must admit she's rather beautiful.
I mean, that wingspan's quite remarkable, isn't
The
it?
body seems ideally proportioned.
And look at the tail, my dear.
Yes.
Hello.
I say, quite a minute, one.
What is it, what's that?
I think she's going to lay an egg.
Oh, good gracious. I believe you're right. Oh, I say. Oh, yeah. Oh, bravo, my word. What a surprise.
Well done, Victoria. I say, we mustn't let Sir Gregory see this.
Oh, no.
Did you get that memo he sent round last week? Said that staff were not to encourage pigeons on the windowsill.
Yes, I'm afraid I tore it up and threw it out of the window.
Did you really?
Actually, those two birds collected some of the pieces and used them to line their nests.
Well, now we know why they built the nest anyway.
And we know which is Victoria and which is Albert. That'll cost you half a crown, too.
I'd like to know how you guessed.
I had a feeling the lady was the one that seemed dissatisfied with the nest and kept sending the other fellow for more twigs.
Ah, well, they're certainly a handsome couple.
Yes, they are.
And I'll bet they're jolly proud of that egg.
Matter of fact, so am I. Nice to think they picked my windowsill to start a family. In fact, I think this calls for a little celebration.
I'll get the brandy from the first aid cabinet.
Good. Bring a biscuit or something, would you?
Okay.
Better let Victoria and Albert join the party. Besides, you've got to do this thing up, Victoria. That's right. And you take good care of her, Albert. Yes, I'm not surprised you look pleased with yourself.
Here we are, 2 glasses of brandy and a suggested biscuit.
Thank you. Now, tell what we'll do. We'll just break the biscuit in half, dip it in the brandy.
Oh, one, that's vandalism.
No, not at all, my dear fellow. I said the pigeons must join the celebration. Break the biscuit, drop it on the sill like that. There you are. Now, that's better than you get into Trafalgar Square, isn't it? Well, see what I tell you. They like it. Oh, you rascals. You like it, don't you, you rascals? Well, cheers, too.
Cheers, son. Oh, I hope you're doing the right thing with that booze-sodden biscuit.
Of course I am. What are you talking about? They'd love it. Look.
Well, whatever you say, one, I can't believe alcohol's good for him. And just when he should be taking seriously his responsibilities as a parent.
Now, don't fuss. There he goes. He's taken off again. Look. Lucky Sir Gregory's gone indoors.
What did I tell you? He's definitely unsteady in his flight.
Who's unsteady? What's he talking? Oh, Albert, I see. Yes, I suppose he is a bit.
Look at him. Instead of his usual graceful glide, what's he doing? Lurching drunkenly across the sky.
Yes, look, he won't come to any harm, will he?
Well, I wouldn't be too sure. He's faltering a bit. Oh, my goodness, he's gone into a nosedive.
You're right, my dear boy. Oh, look, he's completely out of control.
He's going to hit the middle of Whitehall at 100 miles an hour.
I can't look. What's happening?
He's crashed in the middle of the road. I think he might... What is it? Not a... Yes, an 88 bus.
Oh, my goodness.
It was a very quick way to go.
My dear fellow, I'll never forgive myself. That brandy, oh dear, what was I thinking of? Oh dear. Poor Victoria. Did she see, do you think?
I don't think so. She's looking a bit bottled herself. She'll just assume that he's left her.
What a terrible thing. All my fault. There, Victoria. We'll have to look after you now. Now, listen, April, Mildred, we've asked you to come in here because we want to talk to you. I'm afraid we're faced with a sad and tricky situation.
Oh, sir, whatever it is.
Now, Victoria, the pigeon on my windowsill, has lost her husband.
Oh, dear. How did that happen?
I think you might say he went into a sudden decline. Yes. Might say that. But for various reasons, Mr. Lamb and I feel somewhat responsible. You see, this has just happened when Victoria's sitting on her first egg.
That means she'll have no mate to bring her food.
Well, it doesn't work quite that way. You see, normally the lady pigeon and the gentleman pigeon take it in turns to sit on the egg. That way, each gets time off to feed. But now poor Victoria's got to work both shifts. So the effect is the same. She won't get any food.
How do you know all this, Mr. Lamb?
Miss Hamilton Jones and I have invested in this small booklet. So You Want to Keep Pigeons by Albert Granby. We thought it essential to find out all about it. You see, we feel until its egg hatches safely, the welfare of this pigeon is our responsibility.
And yours, we hope.
Of course. I'll do all I can to help. Oh, me too.
Good. Now, the first problem is the feeding business. As we said, this bird is liable to starve because there's no mate to share the job of sitting on the egg. Mildred, this is where you can help.
Oh, Mr. Lamb. I'd never get out on that windowsill.
Mildred, we don't expect you to sit on it yourself. Victoria will do that, but we've got to feed her. Now, according to the book, the best diet is millet and cod liver oil. I want you to go out and buy some of both, then mix them up and knead the mixture into little paste balls, and we'll keep a supply on number one's desk. All right?
Yes, Mr. Lamb.
Good. Now, Mr. Lamb and I will be responsible for actually giving the bird food and water, but we must all be responsible for protecting Victoria from her enemies.
Enemies?
Yes, enemies, those who wish her harm. Mr. Lamb and I have discussed this carefully, and we've decided there are 3 special dangers, isn't that right?
Yes.
They are, we wrote it down somewhere, didn't we?
I've got it, yes. The 3 main sources of danger to Victoria are Sir Gregory Pitkin, the window cleaner, and Neutron, the caretaker's cat. If Sir Gregory looks in at any time, he must be detained in the outer office as long as possible, while whoever's in here carries out Operation Screwboard.
Operation Screwboard?
Yes, Mr. Lamb's found that enormous notice board you see over there. Operation Screwboard consists of screwing it up so it completely conceals the small window where Victoria's sitting.
But it'll cut half the light. Won't Sir Gregory notice the change?
Now, that's the risk we'll have to take. Fortunately, Sir Gregory's been in public service a number of years, so he's not quite as bright as a normal. Well, you know what I mean. Anyway, there are other windows, aren't there?
But remember, if ever Sir Gregory sees the nest, it'll be curtains for Victoria and a big rocket for us.
Yes, remember that. But with any luck, of course, he may not come away at all. A window cleaner, on the other hand, will certainly do so.
Yes, it's the second Wednesday in the month, so any minute now he'll come marching in to have a go at the windows.
That's not the only thing he likes to have a go at.
Exactly. We all recall last month I had to speak rather sharply to the window cleaner because of his familiarity with April here.
Well, it was partly her own fault, really. She should have known better than to lean out the window when he pointed.
Be that as it may, the window cleaner now bears us a grudge. He knows the rule about pigeons, and if he spots Victoria, he's sure to report it to Sir Gregory.
Well, you can't put the notice board up when he comes. He knows how many windows there are.
Exactly. We'll have to be a little more subtle. This time it's up to you, April.
Me?
Yes. You know he fancies you. The idea is for you to meet him in the corridor before he gets here, chat him up a bit, and encourage him to take you round to the El Inferno coffee bar for an illicit cappuccino. That'll put him behind schedule, and he'll have to skip our floor to catch up.
You mean I've got to play up to that chamois leather Romeo?
I'm very sorry, April. You can imagine how I feel asking you to do a thing like this, but when you think of that little feathered widow huddled up in her nest, straining herself to hatch her egg.
All right, Mr. Lamb. Say no more. I'll do it.
Good. I knew you'd rally round, April. I say, isn't it exciting having something really important to do?
April, I've got some more pigeon food for Mr. H.J.
Jolly good. I doubt if Victoria's finished the first batch yet.
Yeah, I've been meaning to ask you. How did you get on with that cheeky window cleaner yesterday?
Oh, we spent an hour in a dark corner of the coffee bar, holding hands.
Holding hands? That was fast work on his part.
No, it was self-defense on mine. Anyway, pigeon and egg were saved, so I suppose it was all worthwhile. Trouble is, he's asked me to go out for a drive tonight in his van. Said he knows a quiet spot in the country.
Oh, beautiful. Would you like me to go instead?
Now, that is a good idea, Mildred. I was supposed to meet him at El Inferno at 6 o'clock.
All right. You have to help a friend, you understand.
Thanks very much. His name's Walter, by the way.
All right, April. How's the pigeon getting on?
Quietly confident, I think. Our bosses, on the other hand, are in a state of great excitement. H.J. didn't leave till 5 o'clock last night.
And Mr. Lamb said he was in at 10 this morning to give Victoria her first tea.
If they go on keeping hours like that, people will get suspicious.
Oh.
Anyway, you better take in that disgusting-looking food, Mildred.
Righto, April.
Come in.
More paste balls for the pigeons, sir. Shall I put them on your desk with the others?
Yes, please. Thank you, Mildred.
Right you are, sir.
Now then, I hope this millet and cod oil's the right thing.
Looks pretty nasty, but Victoria seems to like it. She's about due for her midday feed, isn't she? Hello, Victoria.
Here you are, dear. Nice lunch.
I say, do you think she's looking a little tired?
Well, yes, I think you may be right. Fretting a bit, too, I shouldn't wonder.
Perhaps she hasn't enough to occupy her mind. We could try putting Mildred's transistor radio out there with her. No, perhaps not. She doesn't approve of the wireless, no. Well, eat up your dinner, Victoria, and then if I were you, I'd have a nice sleep.
Emergency.
It's April on your intercom.
I can hear Sir Gregory talking in the passage. I think he's coming in.
Oh, my goodness. Quick.
Yes.
Operation whatever it is. What is it again?
Yes,
Thank you, April. Keep him out there as long as you can, will you?
I'll do my best.
Window shut.
Yes, that's
Notice board.
Yes.
Take that end.
Right now then. Got it?
On the wall. Oh, good thing we put these hooks here.
Steady. Take it gently. We could do ourselves a mischief.
There we are.
Yes.
Covers up the whole window space.
By the way, where did you find this old notice board?
Behind a lot of crates in the storeroom.
Only some of those notices are a bit dated, aren't they?
Yeah, I should have thought of that. I'll take them down and...
Yes.
Too late. Morning, Hamilton.
Good morning,
there.
How do you do, Sir Gregory? How do you do?
Never mind about that. I want to know how you're getting on with this RAF recruiting program.
We want to know how we're getting on.
Yes.
We're getting on very well, Sir Gregory. Thank you. Pushing ahead.
Oh, well, I've seen nothing in my office yet. To tell the truth, we're a bit held up for a slogan. Something rather punchy to start the whole thing off. Slogan, eh? Yes. Well, I hope it's fresher than the ones on your notice board. What is all this? Don't be careless, don't despair. Treat your stirrup pump with care. Got your gas mask, chum. The war's been over 17 years, you know.
Yes, we do know. Very kind of you to remind us. Thank you. We realise that, Sir Gregory. But you never know when someone's going to start another one, do you? And if they do, Sir Gregory, we in this office are ready.
With your stirrup pump?
Yes.
I see. What about that one? That can't look very good when the trade delegation from Munich toured the building last month. Look at it. Beware, German spies are everywhere. Yes, I suppose that was a bit unfortunate. Something strange about this room today?
Oh, I don't think so, Gregory. Can you notice anything strange, too?
No. It seems rather dark.
Dark, really? Do you find it dark, too?
No, not at all. Rather bright, as a matter of fact.
That's what I thought.
Could I offer you a cigarette, Sir Gregory? That is the pencil box you're holding. Oh, yes. Anyway, I don't smoke.
Oh, he doesn't smoke. Very kind of you to look in, Sir Gregory. We'll let him have that RAF stuff as soon as it's done.
Good. By the way, what are these disgusting-looking things on your desk?
Oh, let me
Little balls of some kind of horrid paste.
Yes, you're quite right.
What are they?
Right, Sir Gregory. What are they?
You tell
Yes, well, they're little balls of some kind of horrid paste.
I can see that, man.
See that.
But what kind of paste and for what?
And for what? What for or for what?
They're special lozenges, Sir Gregory.
Yes, lozenges, that's right. Lamb and I get sore throats.
Well, pretty nasty to me.
Oh, it's
No, go ahead, have one.
Oh, don't...
Not just now.
No, not just now.
Come along, man, don't mind me. Have one.
Don't mind
You did say they are lozenges,
Yes,
didn't you?
lozenges.
Yes, have one.
Have one.
Oh, very well.
Go on.
Delicious.
Delicious, isn't it?
Hamilton Jones?
Oh, no, not me, thank you.
Go on.
No, I don't think
Now, come on, man. Do you good.
On my throat's better now.
Go on, take one.
Oh, dear.
I want to keep you fit, you know. That RAF business is very pressing.
Yes, very pressing, yes, Sir Gregory.
Well, good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning. Oh. Pass the wastepaper basket quickly.
Oh, poor Victoria. She can't really enjoy this stuff, can she?
I expect it's different for birds. Quick now, get the notice board down and see how she is. All that business may have frightened her.
Yes, it certainly frightened me anyway. Steady one, do you?
Oh, you've got it caught on... that's better. There we are.
Open the window. Hello, Victoria. Are you all right? She looks a bit excited, Mum.
Yes, there's something different by the way she's sitting, isn't it? Just a minute, I wonder... Can you see what I can see?
It isn't. It can't be. It is another egg.
Isn't it, marvellous?
Twins.
Worth putting up with all the difficulties, isn't it? Mind you, we've got double responsibility now.
Mildred. How have you been getting on with Walter, the wanton window cleaner?
Well, like I told you, April, the first time I went along instead of you, he was very decent. Same on Tuesday and Thursday. We went to the pictures and he behaved like a perfect gentleman. I couldn't think what I'd done wrong. Anyway, cheered up on Saturday night. We went dancing and he began to get with it. Then Sunday we drove out to the country.
Gathering rosebuds while you may.
No, gathering groundsel for the pigeon. I promised Mr. Lamb on Friday. He said she wasn't getting enough roughage, never leaving the nest.
Never leaving the nest? You're forgetting last Wednesday, aren't you?
Oh, I never forget last Wednesday.
Nor me. When H.J. came rushing out of the office, I thought he'd seen a ghost.
Well, it was a shock, wasn't it? Victoria going off and leaving the eggs like that. I hope it didn't come to any harm.
Oh, I don't think so. Mind you, I'm sure we did right to cover them up.
Well, I was against it at the time, because if the mother comes back and finds her eggs covered up, it scares her away.
Yes. And because you said that, poor Mr. Lamb had to sit by the window all night. So the moment Victoria appeared, he could whip his bowler hat off the eggs.
I wonder where Victoria got to all Wednesday night.
I wonder. Oh, well, anyway, all this worry should be over soon. According to the book, the eggs are due to hatch any day now.
Well, I hope they do, for Mr. Lamb's sake. Yes. I've never seen anyone so worried. Oh, the scene of that,
There we are. That put most of the work in order, one. I'm afraid we can't get much further until we've got this recruiting slogan.
Well, keep at it, my dear fellow. Keep at it. We can't afford to relax on this. It's not much in the Times this morning.
The trouble is I can't think properly. I'm so worried about Victoria. The book says these pre-hatching days are very tricky.
Now then, too, we're doing all we can.
But are we? I couldn't get to sleep last night for thinking about her. Sitting there all alone in the cold, I felt so guilty I couldn't even enjoy my hot drink at bedtime. Do you think we ought to get Mildred to knit her a tiny muffler?
Oh, that's a good idea. What a good idea, too. Anyway, let's have a look and see how she's getting on.
Yes. You know, I don't think she looks well today. She hasn't even eaten her 11s. But she's so fidgety all of a sudden, keeps making little bird-like movements of the head.
Well, what sort of movements of the head do you expect her to make, for heaven's sake?
Come and see for yourself. I'm sure this bird's not well.
Surely can't be as bad. Oh, dear, I'm afraid you're right. She looks very peaceful. Look at her eyes, they're bloodshot.
I know.
Feathers coming out. Blood. I don't like the look of this at all.
What are we going to do?
We'll get a vet, of course. I'll bring that animal clinic across the road. Have them send one as quickly as possible.
And ask April to find some smelling salts, would you? Oh, dear, I hope we're not too late.
Here you are, Mr. Lamb. Smelling salts.
Ah, thank you. Ah, that's better. Oh, April, I'm very worried about Victoria.
Yes, of course. But H.J. rang the vet 20 minutes ago. He'll be here any moment.
Where's H.J. gone?
Oh, I don't know. As soon as he'd phoned the animal clinic, he dashed out looking desperate.
I've been trying to get Victoria to eat, but she won't have any. Oh, I wish that vet would hurry up.
Look out, the Gregory's coming down
Oh,
the
my
passage.
goodness. Oh, dear. There's no time to put the notice board up. Quick, April, I'll shut the window. You draw the curtain.
Yes, right. And I'd better stand in front of them.
Yes.
Now, look here, about this RAF recruiting business. Hello, where's Hamilton Jones?
Oh, I'm afraid he's out, Sir Gregory.
Yes, I can see that. But wait a minute. This room's changed again. Ah, I see. You've got those curtains drawn. Why?
Why? Yes, you say why. Well, it's Mr. Hamilton Jones. He's not feeling too well today. He couldn't stand the light.
Not well, Hamilton Jones?
Yes, that's why he slipped out for a moment. He went over to the washroom to bathe his forehead.
Extraordinary business. What's the matter?
Perhaps he's been overworking.
You're joking, of course.
Yes,
Excuse me, is this Mr. Hamilton Jones' office?
Yes, that's right.
Oh, good. Venables is my name. I've come from the clinic. Mr. Hamilton Jones sent for me.
Really? Who did you say you were?
Yes, well, he said, Sir Gregory, Dr. Venables is a medical man, and Mr. Hamilton Jones sent for him to cure this little trouble.
Oh, more serious than I thought. What exactly are the symptoms?
The symptoms, yes, well, listlessness, loss of appetite, nervous shaking of the head.
Oh, dear, I wonder what it can be.
Well, from those symptoms and the ones Mr. Hamilton Jones described on the phone, I should think it's bumblefoot, threadworm, or scaly leg.
What?
At worst, of course, it could be marble bone disease. Or scruffy pox.
Amazing, but what on earth would cause a thing like that?
Oh, well, these things are often caused by dirt, you know. Yes, some of up here in the city don't keep themselves too clean.
Goodness gracious, I can hardly believe it.
Oh, well, there's not much brain there, is there, you see? You couldn't expect it, could you, with such a tiny little head?
Yes, well, thank you very much, Mr. Venables. Perhaps you'd like to wait in the outer office till we have your patient ready?
All right, yes. And I can be getting my kit out.
Yes.
I'll have to start by scrubbing the patient's feet.
Scrubbing the patient's feet?
Yes, and then I'll give the body a good dusting over with DDT.
Well, I suppose Hamilton Jones is entitled to choose his own medical advisor.
Mr. Venables, you are going to wait in the outer office?
All right, I'm off now. I've got a meeting of the supply committee. Pity. I should like to have stayed and watched the treatment. Tell Hamilton Jones I hope he feels better soon. I want that recruiting business finished.
Oh, yes, quite, Sir Gregory. Goodbye, Sir Gregory.
Oh, I thought we'd had it that time.
Me too, but there's not a moment to lose. Quick, Dr. Venables, Victoria's out there. Have you got everything you need? Stethoscope, thermometer?
Yes, I've got everything I want, I think. Yes, thank you. Now, let's have a look at the patient. Yeah, well, doesn't look too bad to me.
Huh? It's all right. She does look better now. Oh, but look, there's a broken eggshell.
Oh?
Oh, dear, that means...
Wait a minute. Look, can you see?
It can't be. It is. One of them's hatched.
They're both hatched. Look.
Oh, April, are they marvelous? Isn't the whole thing absolutely marvelous?
It's wonderful.
Well, it seems I'm in time to congratulate you both.
Thank you.
I hope you'll all be very happy.
Hello, what's going on here?
It's happened, one. They've arrived, both of them. Look.
No, bless my soul, how fascinating. Yeah, now I'll surprise you, my boy. I had a premonition this was on the way. That's why I slipped out of the shops. April, go fetch Mildred, will you? I've got a little something here to mark the occasion.
You haven't one. How splendid. A bottle of Peruvian port-type sherry.
You'll join us in a glass, Mr...
Oh, Venables. Yes, thank you very much. Oh, I should remind you, your worries aren't quite over yet. These squabs won't fly for a fortnight or more, so you'll have to look after them as well as the mother.
Now then, I'm quite sure that's a boy and that's a girl. In fact, I'll put £5 on it.
No, thanks, one. I won't argue with you this time.
I mean, stands to reason that one's a female. She never stops opening her beak.
She's getting on a bit quicker than Albert, isn't she?
Yes, well, they're both doing pretty well, I'd say. Be flying any day now, you mark my words. All right, Victoria, we haven't forgotten you. Have a paste ball.
Excuse me, sir. This memo's just arrived from establishment officer.
Oh, dear, is it important?
I rather think it is.
Let me see. Thank you. During the next few days, workmen will be redecorating the front of the building. This work will be done from the outside, but staff are asked to accept a certain amount of noise and inconvenience.
I say, what a good idea. About time this place was done up.
Yes, but I hope they don't make all the windows stick like they did last time.
Don't you see? Scaffolding, workmen. What's going to happen to the birds?
The birds? Oh, my goodness.
Yes, you're quite right, April. Of course, it'll be pandemonium.
The nest will be destroyed the first day. Or at least Victoria will be scared off and the babies will die.
Well, we've got to stop them. But how? Could we say it interrupts our work?
No, that's not a subject I want to raise, Mr. Gregory, at the moment, if you don't mind. Don't forget his ultimatum on the recruiting campaign.
How about all sitting in the road? Stop the lorries bringing the scaffolding.
Well, I know it's a hobby of yours, Mildred, but I don't think the minister would appreciate it.
Got to do something.
Wait a minute, I got an idea. April, get Scotland Yard on the phone, would you? Yes. Ask for the traffic director. Right. But don't say it's me. Say it's, let me think. The Duke of Bridlington. Yes, Duke of Bridlington. From the Office of State Occasions.
All right. Yes. I'll do it in the outer office.
Yes,
and put him
that's it, good.
The Duke of Bridlington? There's no such person, is there? What's all this about?
You know, Mildred's quite right. If we stop their lorries, they can't put up their scaffolding.
Yes, but we can't sit in the road. It wouldn't be... I mean, it'd be cold and wet.
Oh, my dear fellow, pull yourself together. There's more than one way. Ah, that'll be my call. Hello? Is that the traffic director, Scotland Yard?
Yes, speaking.
Oh.
And that's the Duke of Bridlington, is it?
Is it? Oh, yes, it is. Yes, quite right. Yes, quite right. Yes, quite right. Thank you. How are you?
Oh, fine, thank you, sir. Busy as always. And how are you?
Oh, I'm very well, thank you. Yes. Just wanted to check the arrangements for tomorrow's state visit of the Sultan of Uwait.
Oh. What was that again, sir?
Oh, come, man. The Sultan of Uwait, I said. You know about his state visit, don't you?
Oh, yes, of course. Only I can't quite put my finger on the details at the moment.
Well, you better get your finger moving quickly. He arrives first thing tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Yes, that's right. I remember.
Yes, and of course, you know, he plans to visit Parliament. Haven't forgotten that, have you? So he'll be driving down Whitehall sometime tomorrow or the next day. With the Sultana, of course.
Yes. have the papers in front of me now.
Oh, good boy. Thank you, yes. Have you, really? Yes. Well, now then. No doubt you're having Whitehall closed to all vehicles first thing tomorrow morning till further notice, aren't you?
Yes. That's exactly what we're going to do, sir.
That's right.
Till further notice, did you say?
That's right, yes.
Oh, well, I should have thought... we thought perhaps just till Friday would cover it, sir.
Friday? Oh, well, very well. They should have flown away by then.
Flown away?
Yes, flown back to you. Wait. Yes, thank you. Thanks for your cooperation.
Not at all, sir. All part of the job.
Goodbye. I didn't think I'd better press my luck too hard. So it gives Victoria and Albert 2 days.
2 days? I hope they can learn to fly in that time. Perhaps if we all stand in front of the window and flap our arms, they might get the idea. Now, Albert, you must try. Look, like this, you see?
Now, it's no use, too. You've been jumping off that desk for 2 days, and I don't think Albert's not the slightest bit interested.
But doesn't he realize it's Friday? Look, they're already assembling the scaffolding down there.
Well, nobody can say we didn't try. No one could possibly say we didn't try. Traffic halted, questions in the house, vote of censure on the government. Can't be many birds get that sort of treatment.
I hope there aren't any repercussions, Mum.
I expect there are a few red faces somewhere. I noticed they chose the middle of the night for removing the no entry signs.
I hope they never find out we're responsible. We're in enough trouble already with this recruiting program. Sir Gregory says if it's not done by midday, there'll be an official complaint. And we still haven't found our slogan.
Well, don't worry. If you haven't found it by 11:30, I'll start thinking about it.
And then look at this pigeon. He's got all his feathers. His sister's flown off. His mother's flown off. But poor Albert's still sitting there waiting for the workmen to sweep him up. In 2 minutes, it'll be too late.
Yes, look, Sir Gregory's down there giving the men their instructions.
Wait a minute. Albert's moving.
My goodness, you're right. He's struggling out of the nest.
I think... Yes, he is. He's taking off.
Oh, wonderful. Bravo, Albert.
Wait a minute, though. I hope he doesn't. I hope he isn't going to. Albert, don't.
Too late, I'm afraid he has.
Maybe Sir Gregory will move.
He didn't.
Albert, you are a little rascal.
Oh, look at that. Sir Gregory's furious. Look, he's shaking his fist.
Albert doesn't mind. He's flying up to the roof over there.
Wouldn't his father be proud of him? A real chip off the old block, you know. Look at him up there, pleased as punch.
Yes, and you know one? I think I've got that RAF slogan we wanted. How about, on a winged career embark, learn to fly and make your mark.
Muddling through as the men from the Ministry were Wilfred Hyde-White and Richard Murdoch. Other essential personnel were Diana Olson, Norma Ronald, Roy Dotrice, Percy Edwards, and John Graham. The Men from the Ministry is written and produced by Edward Taylor. Through the hazards of modern life, and guide it surely and squarely right up the creek. Civil servants are typically British people, and if we peep into any Whitehall office, for instance that of the General Assistance Department, we find a typically British scene.
Pardon, monsieur, avez-vous le correct time?
Je ne suis pas too sure, but... Oh, it's no use, man. I'll never get the hang of this.
Don't worry, my dear fellow. Most of these French chaps speak English, you know. Anyway, the better sort do. Only the British gentlemen out abroad should just try and appear interested.
Thank goodness this Paris conference will have English as the official language.
So I should hope. These fellows have got some sense of decency, you know. Away from the conference, of course, you can use this little book. Gives suitable phrases for every situation.
Ah, does it? Let's have a look. Here. In the hotel, I asked for a room overlooking the city square, the public park, the ornamental gardens, the distant hills, the statue of Queen Victoria.
Quite right, too. An Englishman must have proper quarters.
You have given me a room overlooking the refuse dump, the railway sheds, the knacker's yard, the cemetery, the prison, the septic tank.
You haven't much idea of town planning, you know.
Anyway, it's a bucksheet trip to Paris. Think of it. French food, that wonderful squidgy cheese with the soft skin, what's it called now? And the nightclubs with all those gorgeous showgirls.
Camembert.
Yes, I believe they do. The elegant strollers on the Champs-Élysées.
Come in.
Please, sir, the Paris bookings have come through.
Good. Everything in order?
Well, it seems Paris is very full, what with the conference and that. But you've got the last 2 rooms at the Hotel Les Miserables.
Well, that doesn't sound very jolly.
One room's on the 1st floor with balcony and fire escape. The other's on the 5th and there's no lift. The hotel want to know who's going to have which.
Very jolly.
One room's on the 1st floor with balcony and fire escape. The other's on the 5th and there's no lift. The hotel want to know who's going to have which.
Well, perhaps we'd better toss for it.
Oh, no need for that. I don't mind roughing it on the 1st floor. You can go up on the 5th. The air's purer.
I'll tell them, Mr. Hamilton-Jones.
It seems we're all systems go, then.
Yes, except I would like to know a bit more about the actual conference. All I know is we're representing Britain at the Services, Cultural, Intellectual and Athletic Training International Coordinating Association.
That's it. Abbreviated, of course, to SCIATICA.
Sciatica.
Yes. Now, sciatica exists to improve mutual understanding between the various allied armies in NATO, in particular by means of a big sports contest.
But we all have different sports, don't we?
Yes. I know all about that. Now, to achieve peaceful cooperation, all countries have got to make sacrifices. The NATO armies must swallow national pride, give up their traditional sports, and learn an international game.
I suppose you're right. Still, it does seem a shame for the British to give up cricket.
Don't be a damn fool. Of course we shan't give up cricket. That's the game all the foreigners will have to learn.
Oh, that is a relief. You gave me a nasty turn for a moment.
My dear chap, that, as I see it, is the whole purpose of our mission to Paris, isn't it? We've got to persuade all these foreign levels to take up cricket.
How marvellous that'd be for world peace.
Now, I'm off to do a bit of last-minute shopping, packet of tea, some good strong soap and plenty of disinfectant. You can bring the teapot. See you on the boat train.
Yeah, well, all right. Cheerio, well. Oh, how are you going to keep them down in Whitehall after they've seen Paris? Mildred.
Cool, you went off lucky, Mr. Lamb, getting this trip to Paris. Mum went there once. She says some Frenchman crept up behind and pinched her in the Tuileries.
That'll do, Mildred. Now, remember, with us away and Miss Adams on leave, you'll be in charge of all ministry business. Are you quite clear about the important matters?
Oh, yes, Mr. Lamb. I have to watch the pigeons' eggs on the windowsill, water Mr. H.J.'s Trader Scantia, and stamp permission refused on all correspondence.
Good. We're all set then.
Oh, there's just this long canvas cricket bag Mr. H.J. ordered from Harridge's for you to take with you.
Oh, the cricket bag, yes. Now, let's have a look at it. Stumps, pads, bats. My word, we'll put the Continentals in their place with this lot. This could be England's answer to the Norman conquest.
Nadia, I have important news.
What is it, Otto?
You know that for months we have been expecting a big change in the Western defense system.
That's right. Some kind of secret weapon.
Well, our agent in Whitehall has learned of a secret conference in Paris. Code name Sciatica. Our agent cannot find out the purpose of this conference, but to me it is obvious.
Obviously, you think it is about NATO's secret weapon.
Yeah, a new bomb, perhaps, a missile, a rocket. We must find out.
What's the plan, then?
2 great defense experts from England will to the conference go. One of them has with him a large canvas bag, a long one. We believe that in this bag is the secret weapon.
2 men, I suppose that's where little me comes in.
Correct. On the boat you will the acquaintance of each make. You will find out the truth.
Darling, it'll be a pleasure. Just pass me that perfume, will you? That's the one. Cleopatra's Sin.
I'm glad we decided to come by boat. There's a nautical tradition in my family.
Is there really?
All this pitching and tossing doesn't worry me a bit.
Oh, of course. You know, you may feel different once we get outside the harbour.
I doubt it. I've taken 6 pills.
Now, listen to me, too. I can't overemphasize the importance of security on this mission. If any hostile power discovered our NATO cricket bands, they'd go all out to wreck them. So hang on to that cricket bag and keep it fastened, won't you?
Yes, and we mustn't even mention the conference to anyone.
Quite right. If anyone asks, we're off on holiday. Now, I'm going below before we reach the open sea.
Oh, is that wise? You'll feel much better on deck with me. You know, drink in the fresh air, drink in the sea and the sky.
No, thanks. I'm going to drink in the bar. See you at Calais.
Righto. How unhealthy. I'll just put this seat by the lifeboat and study my phrase book.
Excuse me. Do you mind if I put my seat next to yours?
Well, actually, I'm rather afraid that... Oh, of course. I mean, no.
Only I do rather need someone to talk to. You see, it's my first Channel crossing, and you look so confident and strong.
Oh, well, I do play quite a lot of ping pong. You say this is your first Channel crossing?
Yes, that's right. I'm afraid I've led rather a sheltered life. You know, teaching maths and looking after Mummy.
Well, don't worry. I'm quite used to this sort of thing.
Oh, how brave of you. I expect you're going over to France on holiday.
No, actually, I mean, yes. Well, just between you and me, I'm official British representative at a big NATO conference.
Oh, how thrilling. What's it all about?
Well, actually, it's all to do with... I beg your pardon. Actually, no. I can't tell you, I'm afraid. It's terribly hush-hush. Let's talk about something else. I'll tell you how to avoid seasickness.
Oh, no.
The main thing is to stay on deck and watch the sea. Mm-hmm. The other thing is to have something to do. So if we sit here and study my phrase book, you'll be as right as rain. Oh. And if you do feel groggy, you can hold my hand. Oh. I shan't mind.
You're quite right, darling. We've been at sea a whole hour, and I feel absolutely splendid.
Oh, I wish I were dead.
Oh, darling, if you hang any further over the side, you'll fall in the water.
Oh.
You were going to tell me all about that fascinating conference in Paris. You know, I don't know if it's a good time to bring it up.
I must go downstairs and lie in my bedroom.
Yes. Well, all right. I'll look after your canvas bag for you.
No, I'll take that.
Oh, so much for that one.
Well, Nadia, what have you found out?
Only what we know already. When I tried to find out more, he put up a brilliant pretense of being a fool.
As I thought, one of their top agents.
Yes, now you sure we should go through with this.
Of course. We have buttered our bread, and now we must lie on it. Go and try the other one. Here's in the bar.
Thank goodness for that. One more gasp of this fresh air and I'd have suffocated. Won't they tell each other about me?
No, of course not. With Englishmen, a beautiful girl is like a place to park his car. If he finds one, he keeps it to himself.
Another brandy, please, steward.
Large one again, sir?
Yes, please. I'll tell you what, this time just give me the bottle. I'll pour it myself. Thank you. Now, as you just passed the soda, there. Now, will you give me a bill that I can take home to show for expenses, please?
Excuse me.
I beg your pardon, what's that? Who? Oh.
Have you got the time?
Oh, yes, any amount. I mean, the time. Oh, yes. 1:15.
Oh, thank goodness. Not long before we reach Calais.
Aren't you enjoying the trip?
Well, it's my first crossing, you see, and I'm rather nervous.
Dear me. Sit down, my dear. Nothing to worry about. Steward, a brandy for the lady.
Oh, my dear, you are kind. You seem the sort of man that a girl could lean on.
Lean on? Oh, am I? How nice. Well, not in public. That's a little late.
I mean, one feels you're confident and experienced.
Do you? Does one? Am I? That's nice of you.
Yes, I bet while all these other people are just off on holiday, you are going across to do some frightfully important job.
Oh, gracious, how funny you should say that.
I'm right.
Well, yes, only it's terribly secret. Actually, I'm representing Britain at a very important conference in Paris.
How marvellous. What's it all about?
Well, basically, the plan is...
Your brandy, madam. Soda or water?
Soda, please. Do go on.
No, actually, I can't. I know I can trust you, of course, but walls have ears, don't they? Oh, this brandy's good. Keeps away the seasickness, doesn't it?
Yes, but listen, this new project.
My assistant stayed up on deck, rather fancies himself as a sailor. 10 minutes ago, he staggered through here looking like the death of Nelson.
Oh, dear.
Ridiculous getting ill on a crossing, isn't it? Ridiculous, what?
Yes.
Brandy's the thing. Mind you, 5 or 6 of these large ones does make you a bit dizzy.
Now, listen, you were telling me about the conference.
I didn't think I'd had as many as that, actually. Perhaps it was a gins in between. You haven't got 2 heads, have you?
Stella, darling, are you all right?
Oh, yes. I just don't feel very comfortable on this sawbow rubber furniture, that's all. I think I'd better go and lie down a minute. You will excuse me, won't you? Oh, dear, I think I'll have to hurry.
It's incredible. He's as cunning as the other one.
Here in this magnificent conference palace, we must pledge ourselves to agreement. All must make sacrifices in order that democracy may flourish.
I say, wake up, one. I think he's finishing.
What's that? What's he been on about?
He's been on about 2 hours. Look out, I think you're next to speak.
Oh. We in Italy feel that we must all go forward together. The time has surely come when we must cycle forward together, arm in arm, into the glorious future which lies behind the horizon. Thank you.
Merci. I now call on the representative of Great Britain.
Thank you. Yes, that's me. Thank you very much. Yes, I will. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Gentlemen, it is with much pleasure that I rise to address you on this vital subject of a mutual support for the Allied armies. We in Great Britain say this: we must all go forward together. We maintain that international cooperation is more important than national pride. And furthermore, And that is why we feel that cricket is the one game which can unite our Allied troops in a spirit of mutual misunderstanding. I say to you, play up, and play the game. Yes. Now, just to help put you in the picture, gentlemen, I'm going to show you some cricket kit. Just hand me the things out of the bag, would you, please, too?
Yes, I'd like to hear it.
A bat? Thank you. Now, this, you see, is a bat used for hitting the ball.
Ball?
Ah, yes. Now, this is the ball. Little red chap, you see. Now, the bowler uses this to try and hit the stumps.
Stumps.
Stumps. These are the stumps. Normally, they're hammered into the ground, but we don't want to wreck the floor of the conference palace, do we? Perhaps we can just lean them against the wall over there. What do you think? You chap from Germany, would you mind?
Yeah. Here is all right.
Oh, top hole. Now, the batsman stands in front of the stumps and tries to score runs, you see. Bit difficult to explain, so perhaps we could just demonstrate. What do you think about that? 2, take the bat and stand over there, would you? I'll give you a couple of slow left armers. No, wait a minute. The table's in the way. Mr. Chairman, fellow delegates, I wonder if you'd mind getting up a minute. Yes. That's it. Good. Oh, thank you. To move the table over against the wall. Do you mind standing a moment, do you, gentlemen? No, don't be silly. Don't all stand on the same side. Let's have the Benelux group fielding on the leg side, shall we? Over there, that's right, yes. Monsieur Clochemel at mid-arm. Yes. Thank you, Monsieur Clochemel. Now, I just take a short run. Arm comes over, not bench, you see. There. Oh, well done, too. Yes, let's try again. Now, on your toes, you fielders. 1, 2, 3. There. Oh, dear, you should have caught that, you know, you chap from Italy. Must keep your eye on the ball.
Oh, see, I'm sorry.
Oh, never mind. Let's have another shot.
Excuse, please, could I go meet the ball head?
Oh, of course, my dear chap. And nicely you put it, yes. I'll take the bat, too. You should have been out that time anyway.
Nonsense, man. It was a bum ball.
Now, come along. You want your expense sheet signed when you get home, don't you?
Oh, very well. Here you are.
Right.
But I wasn't out.
Ready when you are, bowler.
Gut. 1, 2, 3. Over mit der Arm. So.
What?
Steady, man. It's gone right out through the open window.
Oh, my goodness.
Entree.
Excuse me, Monsieur le Président, but please could we have our ball back?
So, Felix couldn't get into the conference. We still don't know what it's about.
We know it must be a secret weapon as we suspected. 1 hour ago, an unidentified missile shattered the president's window from the direction of the conference. We must find out the nature of this English weapon.
But those 2 English agents are so shrewd. They make James Bond look like old Mother Hubbard.
Well, I still have a few tricks up my shirt. Felix is waiting. He is waiting, Felix is, outside the conference to kidnap them in this taxi. If this fails, he will return and snatch the secret weapon bag.
Well, I think that went off rather well, one. They all seemed to take to the game, didn't they?
Yes, indeed they did. That Belgian delegate's working up rather smart googly, didn't you think?
Do you think you did right to declare?
Oh, of course, sure. But the conference is due to adjourn at 4:30. Anyway, now we can get the other side in first thing in the morning before the shrine's gone off the floor.
Also, it does give us a couple of hours to see Paris before dinner. Let's call a taxi and have a trip round.
Taxi, monsieur.
My word, that was quick.
Don't you think it's rather a pleasant afternoon for walking, too? I've got my street map here.
All right. No thanks, taxi driver. Some other time, perhaps. Well, I never realized that sign was international. I say, man, you're looking rather worried. What is it?
Yes, well, you know, about this stationary trip away from home, I begin to wonder what I should take back for my wife as a present. She expects one, you know.
Oh.
I did promise I'd get her a model gown from one of the new Paris collections.
What a splendid plan.
On the other hand, it's awfully hard to choose something when she isn't here to try it on, isn't it?
Yes, well, what about some jewellery?
Rather fancy one might get into trouble with the customs over jewellery. I suppose I could take her some champagne.
That's a good idea.
Isn't really room in my suitcase.
Oh, handkerchief?
Oh, no, got too many of those already. On the whole, I think I'll give her one of those small stainless steel models of the Eiffel Tower. She could put it on the mantelpiece, couldn't she?
Oh, that will be a surprise for her. You might try one of those street vendors. What's that chap selling?
Looks like postcards to me. How interesting. Local views, I expect. May I see one of the... Oh, good gracious.
What is it, Ron?
Look at this picture.
Oh, dear.
I haven't seen anything like that since the Drama Club's Christmas social. Take them away, take them away, take them away immediately. Oh, no, I think this fellow looks as if he's going to speak to us.
Excuse me, monsieur, but have you please a light?
Oh, yes, of course. Here you are.
Look out, he's got the bag. Stop him.
He took me by surprise. Oh, dear. There's never a gendarme when you want one.
Now, out of the way, too, out of the way. Lucky I've got a spare cricket ball in my pocket. I think fast full toss. What do you think?
Got him right behind the ear. Well done, man.
I'm afraid it was more of a rounder's throw, really. They say Paris is full of these footpads. Better get the bag before his cronies turn up. And we must find a place to sell small stainless steel models of the Eiffel Tower.
Amazing. Felix cannot describe what knocked him out. Some kind of deadly anti-personnel weapon.
So we still have neither the bag nor the secret.
No, it is up to you, Nadia. A good thing you have this room in the hotel. Tonight you invite up there the leader.
The usual routine. Champagne and encouragement.
Yeah, at 12 o'clock, I burst in to find him ensnared. I am the outraged husband. So, I find you alone with my wife?
Yes, darling, don't get so excited. What you mean is we blackmail him into giving us the secret.
And if that will not work, then we use the last resort. But let us hope not. Violence is messy. Now, the Englishman we want is in 118 on the 5th floor. Call the boy and send up a note at once.
Are you quite sure you want to change rooms, Ron? Honestly, I'm quite happy up here on the 5th floor.
Not at all, my dear fellow. As I lay awake in my first floor room last night, I realized how selfish I'd been. Poor old two, I thought. Right out of things up there on the top floor.
Oh, well, I suppose I'd better take my things down to your old room.
That's
then.
right. Then we're all set for an evening out.
Front stalls at the Follies.
Dinner at the Moulin Rouge, I think, don't you?
I hope they accept luncheon vouchers. I wonder whether we should try these French specialities. A friend of mine had frog's legs and they made him rather jumpy. Oh well, Jean-Bidon.
I do hope Penelope likes this model of the Eiffel Tower. Looks good on this table anyway. Entree?
A letter for you, monsieur.
For me? Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Yes. Well, carry on. No need to wait.
The service, monsieur?
Oh, the tip, of course. Well, here you are.
Monsieur?
Haven't you seen one of those before? It's a very valuable English coin, my boy. 12 sides, you see. Think of the craftsmanship in that.
Merci, monsieur.
Now, what's the envelope say? To the handsome Englishman in 118. Oh, it is for me. What's this? Delighted to find we are in the same hotel. My room is 57. Come and share a bottle of champagne at 10 o'clock from the girl on the boat. The girl... Good gracious me, what a coincidence. Oh, I'd better get some flowers.
Excuse me, I left my aftershave on the dressing table. Must smell our best for the night out.
Oh, the night out, yes, that reminds me. I mean, you know, I've suddenly got an awful headache. I don't think I'd better come after all.
Not come? After all our plans?
Yes, it is a pity, isn't it? I'm terribly sorry. Never mind, you go. I'll just take things quietly here and...
Get a little peace?
Get a little peace. I beg your pardon, what's that? Oh, yes, exactly. Yes. Now, I'll just pop out and get some aspirins. You carry on, and I do hope you have a jolly good time.
Well, funny. That headache came on very quickly. I suppose it's... Oh, I wonder who that could be. Hello? I mean, bonjour.
Hello, darling. It's me.
You? Who?
And you who to you too, darling. It's me, the girl on the boat. Didn't you get my note?
The girl on the... How splendid. But I didn't get any note.
No, I thought that boy didn't look very bright. That's why I decided I'd better ring and check. I'm staying in the hotel, darling. I was hoping you'd come to my room.
Come to... Oh, yes, of course, at once. I'll come now if you've got nothing on. I've got nothing on, and if you're the same...
Let's say 10 o'clock, shall we? Give the champagne time to chill. Room 57. See you later.
Room 57, 10 o'clock. Oh, this is exciting. I must pop out and get some flowers.
Here you are, darling. Come in.
I'm sorry I'm late. I brought you these orchids.
Oh, how divine. It's so lovely to see you. We didn't finish our talk on the boat, did we? Come and sit down. Or could you be awfully strong and open the champagne?
Well, I'll try. There we are.
Can I sit here next to you? Well, I feel we're old friends.
Oh, rather, yes, of course.
Do you like this dress, darling?
Oh, yes. Mind you, it's a bit, isn't it? I mean, I can see...
Yes, darling?
I can see it came from a very expensive shop.
I'm so glad you like it. Now, drink up the bubbly and tell me all about yourself.
And so that is how I became a school prefect. And then when I left, Father told me to have a shot at the civil service.
How simply fascinating. Have some more champagne?
No, I know. Well, perhaps one teeny-weeny little bottle. I shouldn't really...
Oh, but darling. Paris is the place for wine, women, and song.
Yes. I can't say I'm bothered about the singing part.
Oh, you naughty man.
Oh, dear. There's someone at the door.
But it's not midnight yet. I mean... Don't move, darling. I'd better go and see.
Oh, I say, how embarrassing. And me with one shoe off.
So sorry I'm late. I brought you a few roses.
Oh. How lovely.
Oh, not as lovely as you, my dear. What's the beauty of flowers beside the beauty of a woman's... Good gracious, two.
Oh, hello, Anne. Did we ever get that memo off to the men of Ag and Fitch?
12 o'clock. After 2 hours alone with Nadia, even an Englishman should be warmed up. Well, now he will have a surprise. In with the key, quick, and... Stop! I find you alone with my wife. Both of you.
Oh, Good hit, Nadia. Well held, too. Sorry, my dear, I'm afraid you're out.
Hello. This is Otto, my husband.
So, I find you in a compromising position.
There's nothing very compromising about a three-handed game of cricket. French cricket, too, appropriately enough. Still, now you're here, we can have a proper game.
Ach, so you wish to play games? I can play games. I have in my hand a knife.
Good, I'll borrow it if I may. Can't keep the score with a blunt pencil. Right, you field over there by the window, whatever your name is. Otto, is it? That's right, over by the window.
Are you sure you're quite comfortable, Mr. Lamb?
As comfortable as you can be, lying on your front in a hospital bed.
Poor you. And you mean to say you played cricket with those spies all night?
Yes, and then about 8 o'clock in the morning, they both broke down, burst into tears, and confessed they'd been out to steal our secrets.
Reforming influence of cricket, you see. They were quite overcome, said they'd pack up spying and retire.
Well, did you ever? And everything went all right at the Sciatica conference?
Indeed it did. All the allies are taking up cricket.
That reminds me, we better be off. The MCC are meeting at Lord's, and I've got to propose those 2 new members, Adana and a goal. Chin up, too. The doctor says you'll be out in a week.
Goodbye, Mr. Lamb.
Goodbye, Mildred. Goodbye, Juan. Nurse, switch on the earphones, will you? It's the test match.
This way out, Mildred.
Right you are, sir. What I can't understand is, if everything went so well in Paris, and you dealt with those spies without any violence, why is Mr. Lamb in hospital?
Well, actually, Mildred, the accident happened the day we got back.
Mm-hmm.
Halfway through his unpacking, Mr. Lamb realized that a lot of things in his case were mine, due to the mix-up with the rooms, you see.
Mm-hmm.
So he stopped and sat down to consider the matter. Unfortunately, he'd already placed on the chair a small stainless steel model of the Eiffel Tower.
Yes.
In that program, Wilfrid Hyde-White and Richard Murdoch were bewitched by Betty Marsden as Nadia, bothered by Norma Ronald as Mildred, and bewildered by Roy Dotrice and David Graham as a variety of wily foreigners. The Men from the Ministry is written and produced by Edward Taylor. Time to meet the Men from the Ministry. We present Wilfrid Hyde-White and Richard Murdoch in The Men from the Ministry, a weekly tribute to those who work in our government departments. These are dedicated men, for the jobs they do are varied and pressing. And the offices they work in are varied and pressing, too. From Big Ben to Nelson's Column stretches the most famous street in London, Whitehall. Here is the nerve center of the country, where an army of public servants works unceasingly. Here are the men whose decisions affect the lives of millions. Here is the brain of Britain.
They hadn't got any currant buns, so I had to bring Eccles cakes. Put them in the filing cabinet till 11, would you, Miss Adams?
They won't have long to wait, will they?
Oh, am I late again?
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, I had an accident. I caught my umbrella in my bicycle chain and stopped all the traffic on Lambeth Bridge.
Why don't you try getting up earlier? I bet you don't have any breakfast as it is.
Oh, I have a cup of tea and a good cough. But you're right, though. I do need a woman to look after me. Someone like you, Miss Adams.
Now, we've had all that out before.
Honestly, Miss Adams, April, marry me, Miss Adams, and if we get it done quick, we'll save a year's income tax.
Mr. Lamb, please.
Please, honestly, April,
No.
Mildred, why don't you knock before you come in?
I'm sorry, Mr. Lamb. I didn't realize you'd be at it so early.
That'll do, Mildred. And I was not at it, as you put it. Unfortunately. Anyway, you should be getting on with your work. Where's the post?
There isn't any.
No post? Then you better write some quick, or they'll make us redundant.
Well, I mean, there is some post, but you can't have it because I haven't dated it yet.
Well, then stop painting your nails and date it.
I can't date the post because the date stamp's gone. Vanished.
But if we can't have the post till you find the date stamp, the whole department's at a standstill. Mr. Hamilton Jones will be here any minute, and what am I going to tell him?
You'll have to tell him you've lost the date stamp.
But I haven't.
Look, you're in charge next to number 1. It's my job to stamp the post when I've got a stamp to stamp with. It's your job to provide the stamp.
Oh, this is terrible. The Cold War, the economic crisis, and now we've lost the date stamp. H.J.'s going to be furious.
Watch out, here he is.
Yes, here he is. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, ma'am.
Bring the post into my office, would you, too?
Go on, tell him.
There's just one thing, ma'am.
What's that?
Did you have a simply splendid weekend?
Oh, very pleasant, thank you very much. Spot of shooting with Lord Carraway, dinner with the Duke of Dorset. Very quiet, you know. Bring in the post, there's a good fellow.
Yes.
Oh, go on in then.
All right, don't rush me.
Look, it's only a lost date stamp. They say can't do any worse than have you transferred, now can he?
Have you transferred?
To records at Inverglossy.
Records at... But that's in the Outer Hebrides.
It's where all the civil servants go when they drop a clanger. Bernard said so.
And who's Bernard?
My boyfriend in Ag and Fish. He says it's a horrid place, Inverglossy. Just rocks and seagulls and a north wind freezing you to the marrow. Bernard says it's worse than Devil's Island.
Don't be ridiculous. One wouldn't send me to a place like that just because we've lost the day stamp. Will he?
I say, too, do you know the Western Isles of Scotland at all?
No, not yet.
Pity. Stuck on a crossword clue. Never mind. I'll get my secretary to ring up the Scottish office. By the way, here's the date stamp. I borrowed it yesterday.
Oh, the date stamp. You were changing the rubber roller.
What? No, I was changing the date of my library book. Now, come along. Come along into my office, my dear chap, and don't fiddle-faddle.
I never fiddle-faddle.
Well, it's not good enough, you know. 11 o'clock already, we haven't started.
I'm terribly sorry, One. You see, my bicycle chain...
I don't want to hear about your bicycle chains. No time to waste. Here are the golf clubs and here are the balls. We'd have 3 shots each chipping into my waste paper bin. Threepence around as usual, eh?
But, One, I've got heaps to do this morning. There's a memo in triplicate from admin asking why memos are being sent out in triplicate. Then there's the meteorological office wanting to borrow our barometer. And not to mention that...
Well, never mind about that. I'll have the first shot, shall I?
Oh, all right.
Oh, good. Oh, dear, see who that is and tell him I'm out, will you?
Oh, all right. General Assistance Department.
Permanent Undersecretary for Mr. Hamilton Jones.
Oh, I'm afraid he's in conference at the moment.
Then tell him to come out.
Yes, Sir Gregory.
Who is it?
Sir Gregory.
Oh, what a nuisance. All right, give it to me. Hello, Sir Gregory. Nice to hear from you. How are the petunias coming along?
Well, have you read it?
Have I read it?
Sent it over last night.
What?
Don't tell me you haven't looked at your mail at 11:30 in the morning.
Oh, no, I wouldn't tell you that, Sir Gregory. Quick, too, the mail.
Yes, all right, hang on.
I dealt with it so long ago, Sir Gregory, I've forgotten all about it, you see. How the hollyhocks, Sir Gregory. Memo from Sir Gregory.
And the hollyhocks.
What
do you think of the memo?
Oh, yes. What do I think of the memo? Very neatly done, Sir Gregory. Wish I had your secretary.
Now stop teasing about the bushman.
Did you find it yet? What?
Circular from the Christmas Club.
Yes.
Office out.
Hello?
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 Hello? I can't keep this up much longer. This is a very bad line, Sir Gregory.
Then think of a better one.
Oh.
This must be it. Isle of Wight Purchase Project.
You'll have what?
Isle of Wight Purchase Project.
Oh, you too. I see. Thank you very much. Yes, Sir Gregory, yes. It seems the War Office wanted to buy a small piece of land on the Isle of Wight for army training.
I know all that. Don't bring the old flaming memo back to me. I want to know how you're tackling it.
Well, we're tackling it. Yes, quite right. I'm glad you said so. Listen, we're leaving no tackle
Now, look, this is top secret, top priority job.
Oh, top.
War Office need this corner of the Isle of Wight.
Top job.
They can't show their hand for security reasons.
Oh.
That's why you've got to make the purchase.
Where or what?
Be discreet. Now, avoid compulsory purchase at all costs. We don't want publicity.
Oh, no, of course not, Sir Gregory. Don't worry. I'll handle this myself, and my kindest regards to Lady Pip. Dear me, something scuttles off. Too, the War Office wants us by some bit of land. It's all in that wretched memo. See to it, will you?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going off to my club now.
Your club? Which one, the Athenaeum or the Venus Strip?
Too, I may tell you I'm meeting the Undersecretary for Cultural Affairs.
Oh, then it'll be the Venus Strip. Bring me back the program, won't you? And don't worry about the Isle of Wight business. I'll give it my full personal attention.
Good man.
April, there's a beastly memo here about some land in the Isle of Wight. Do something about it, will you?
Ah, there you are, Mr. Lamb. I've got all the information on this bit of the Isle of Wight the War Office wants.
Thank you, April. Oh, you are a treasure. You really are. I'll take it into HJ if he's back from lunch.
It's 4:00.
Well, you never know. He may be early. There you are, one. Did you have a good lunch?
Oh, pretty good one, pretty good, yes. Did I have a good, what were you talking about?
Did you have a good lunch?
Oh, yes, excellent, thank you. And you?
Well, I didn't have much time to eat. I've been ferreting out all this stuff on the Isle of Wight.
Yeah.
Now, here's a large-scale map and a list of the details. You can see the area in question in this remote corner of the island here.
Yes, nice spot. We'd ask a good price for it.
But we're not selling it, we're buying it.
Oh, I see, I beg your pardon. Well, we needn't offer much for a dingy place like that, need we? Oh, dear, I missed it that time. Listen.
We'll have another go.
Yeah, we'll have another go. Looks better if we get it. Thank you very much. Now then, who does this place belong to?
There are two estates in the area that the Army wants. One is owned by a retired admiral called Mumpley, and the other by a Miss Amelia Chambers.
Oh.
Apparently, she runs hers as a bird sanctuary. She breeds puffins.
Good gracious me. Tell me, what exactly is a puffin?
It's a gloomy sort of bird with round eyes and a big fat beak.
Oh. Bit like old Phipps over the border trade. Old Phipps, that's rather good. I must tell him that one.
I wonder if there'll be any difficulty.
Well, not a bit. Old Phipps always sees a joke. Remember that? Remember that Christmas Eve when Arthur Brown filled his umbrella with cheese sandwiches?
Yes, we do see life here in Whitehall, don't we?
Stilton, I think it was.
Yes. What I meant was, will these people sell their land?
Oh, good gracious, yes. Tell you what to do. Send them a number 1 stiff letter. When they read that on our headed notepaper, they won't stop to argue.
All right, I'll go and get on with it now.
Good. Now, I wonder if I need a number 9 on this.
Mildred, take a letter, will you? It's for Admiral Mumpley and Miss Chambers. Let's see. Dear Sir and Madam. Of course, I don't mean Sir and Madam on the same letter. I mean one on one and the other on the other, if you see what I mean.
Yes, I think so, Mr. Lamb.
Good. I wish I did. Now, where was I? Will you read that map, Mildred?
Dear Sir and Madam.
Yes, dear Sir and Madam. You know, that might be a good place to break off for a cup of something. All work and no play makes Jack. Yes, splendid. That's a good job done. Now, can I see those letters, Mildred?
Here you are, Mr. Lamb.
Thank you. Dear Sir on one, good. And on the other, Dear Madman. Oh. Really, Mildred, you must do something about these mistakes. No, alter it afterwards. I want to check the rest of it. Pursuant to amended planning policy, an area of land which includes your property is urgently required for government redevelopment. And I am asked to negotiate with you for the sale thereof. Your early agreement will be appreciated. The government is convinced that any delay is a menace to the national welfare. And I am the same. Your obedience, etc. Good, I think that covers it. I wonder what the Admiral will say to this.
Stop! Hardy, shut the flaming portal.
Hey? Oh, the window. Aye, Admiral.
Out here, Mr. Curtis. Oh, that's better. Blasted bureaucrats, bowler-headed buffoons, black-suited bounders. See this, Hardy?
Aye, Admiral.
Tot-a-rum, quick. Load the cannon in the front garden. Run out the flag. And fetch me some paper and a good soft pen.
Aye, Admiral.
Government redevelopment scheme, indeed. Grab my land, would they? Ha! And what about Miss Chambers, that poor, weak, defenseless woman? I suppose the wicked old devils have one of these, too.
Come along. Eat up, children. Move over, puffins. Let the guillemots have a bite. Eat up, all of you. That's right. We're going to have to fight for our home. The men from the ministry want to take it away from us. Yes, they do. But we won't let them, will we? No, we won't. Hello. There's someone coming up the path. Good gracious.
Morning, Miss Chambers.
Admiral Mumpley. Well, this is a surprise.
Yes.
Mind you, some people might think it strange that we're neighbors and we haven't spoken for 15 years.
They wouldn't think so, madam, if they'd seen what your puffin did to my blazer.
Or if they knew what your cutter did to my kittiwakes.
Nonsense, madam, This is no time for quarrelling. You and I have got to put our heads together.
I beg your pardon?
I suppose you've had one of these letters from the Ministry of whatever it is, wanting to take this place over as an army training ground.
Oh, yes, I have. You'd better come inside. What impertinence. My family have been breeding puffins here for 800 years. I've written back and told them so.
Good. But we've got to face the fact these people can use compulsory purchase.
Can they? Well, I'd sooner die than have a lot of soldiers disturbing my shearwaters.
Yes, but we've got to handle them carefully. Make sure you're behind me, and I am behind you at the same time.
What do you propose, then?
I thought we'd talk it over today. Then tomorrow I'll go up to London and see these people in their office. Find out how the land lies.
Very well, Admiral. You're right. We must stand together. I'll make a pot of tea, and perhaps you'd care for a soft-boiled gow's egg.
Huh?
You can't think well on an empty tutty.
Morning, one. I've had the replies from the Isle of Wight. I'm afraid they don't look too hopeful.
Oh, dear.
Look, here's the Admiral's letter.
What's this? Infernal impudence. Hung from the yardarm. Barefaced brigands. Bullying. What? It's a word here I don't understand.
I think it's a naval expression.
Oh. You see this as a refusal, do you?
Well, reading between the lines, I do get that impression. And Miss Chambers' letter seems much the same. We're little Hitlers in that one.
Oh, dear me. Well, ask April to bring the papers into my office, will you?
The legal papers?
No, the midday papers, of course. There's a horse running at Bogside this afternoon, I've been told about.
What are we going to do about this Isle of Wight business?
What?
We've made no progress, and War Office is sending one of their top men over this morning to see how we're getting on.
One of their top men, are they? That's different. Boy, we have to put up some kind of show, haven't we? Make him think it's all buttoned up. Tell you what, have you got a big map of the island?
Yes, I had one sent over.
Good. Well, I'll tell you, we'll spread it on the table and stick little flags in it, like they do in those war pictures.
Oh, what a good idea. But have we got any little flags?
Yes, my top draw's full of them. Kept them all from past Flag Day. Saves buying again next year. Here we are. This yellow one can mark the Admiral's place. What's it say? Home for retired horses. Yes, that'll say.
Splendid, and Miss Chambers can have the accident prevention one. I say, I'm rather enjoying this. I'll just slip out and tell Mildred to let the War Office chap in when he comes. April's away on a typing test.
Good idea, good idea. Now, where can I put this one?
Mildred, if you could just tear yourself away from that copy of Biff, the Teenage Disc Roundup, for a moment. I want to tell you something.
Sorry, Mr. Lamb.
Mr. Hamilton Jones and I are expecting a man from the War Office to discuss this Isle of Wight business. Send him straight in when he comes, will you?
Straight in. Right you are, Mr. Lamb. Oh, I wonder if Bernard's in. 324, please. Oh, did you eat her? Hello, Vern. Mildred here. No, I've got this place to myself. I've just got to watch out for some old square from the War Office and send him into HJ. Here, Bern. I was just looking in Biff, and it says there's a big beat package show at the Buzzardrome tonight. Yes, they've got Charlie Frenzy, Laurie Lustful, and Fred Lizard. What about it? Oh, good. Where shall we meet then? Oh, inside the Buzzardrome. All right. Here, Bern. Oh, it looks like the man from the War Office. Hold on a minute.
Good morning. Is this the office that's seeking to purchase land on the Isle of Wight?
Yes, that's right. Would you go straight in, please? They are expecting you.
Expecting me? But I don't see how they...
That door over there it is.
Oh, very well. Morning. Now, this Isle of Wight business, I want to find out...
Oh, yes, of course. Come in, my dear fellow. Don't worry, we've got it all buttoned up.
Huh?
Here we are. Sit down, have a chair, would you? This is Mr. Lamb, my assistant.
How do you do?
How do you do? I want to make it clear I'm extremely concerned about this.
Of course you are. Couldn't be anything else. Might have been a tricky business, mightn't it? However, you'll be glad to hear we'll soon have these Isle of Wight people right where we want them.
Huh? What?
Mind you, we are having a little trouble with some old fool of a retired admiral. What's his name? Mumpley. We call him Mumps because he's an awful pain in the neck.
Just a stupid old windbag. We'll soon get the measure of him.
Oh, you will you?
There's him and a Miss Chambers, but they'll come round all right. We're sending them our number 2 stiff letter.
They won't argue with that. They wouldn't want to get our number 3 stiff letter.
Wonderful what you can do with a bit of bluff and a little brown envelope with a window in it.
What about compulsory purchase?
Oh, don't worry. We know the War Office don't want compulsory purchase because of the publicity.
Yes, but of course these landowners don't know that, so the threat will be enough.
I don't suppose as much they do know, living in a remote spot like that. Probably a bit simple.
Yes, I say, can't you imagine that old fool of an admiral? I bet he's got a cannon in his garden and a flagpole.
I expect he plays with boats in his bar.
If they have bars. Unlikely to have bars in a place like that. More likely just to avoid each other.
I see. Jolly good idea of yours to use that spot as an army training ground. I've never been to the Isle of Wight, but from the map it doesn't look as if much goes on there.
I wonder you don't use more of it, you know. Come to think of it, you could take up the whole island, use it as a rocket range.
What a splendid idea. I'm sure we could fix it for you.
Yes.
I'll just make a note of that.
Good. Now, as we seem to have got things taped, I think we're entitled to a little celebration. What do you say? To get the brandy from the first aid
Yeah,
cupboard,
I've got it here already. You'd like a little brandy, Mr.
Mumpley. Admiral Mumpley.
Yes, of course. Well, your very good health, Admiral... Oh, Admiral Mumpley!
Look what you've done. You've poured drink all down Admiral Mumpley's trousers. Did you say Admiral Mumpley?
I did, sir.
I rather thought he did.
Of all the unscrupulous, malicious, villainous, outrageous,
obnoxious.
So, War Office don't want any publicity, eh? Well, let me tell you, before you get hold of 1 inch of the Isle of Wight, you'll have to face the biggest public scandal of the century. I'll write to every newspaper in the country.
Oh, dear me, even the Sundays?
Especially the Sundays. We'll fight you every inch of the way. Ministry of Idiots, useless parasites, you won't get away with this.
I don't think he's going to cooperate.
Do you realize he called us the Ministry of Idiots?
I do.
And useless parasites?
Oh, my dear boy. Treat marks like that with the contempt they deserve. Ignore them like I do. Hello, Ministry of Idiots here.
Well, I won't argue with that. Finkin here. War Office can't send their man over. So they've asked me to ring you. What's happening on this Isle of Wight business?
Oh, Isle of Wight. Things are definitely moving, Sir
They
Gregory.
better move a lot faster.
Yes.
War Office want this land as soon as possible. But above all, remember, no publicity.
Oh, dear, there's going to be a terrible row about this. And just when I looked like getting a carpet in my office.
I can't say I'm pleased with the way you've handled things, too. Scarcely diplomatic. Should have left things to me.
But when you specifically told me that
Too late for diplomacy now, of course. No use offering our naval friend the olive branch. Probably just hit us over the head with it.
But I say, you could try it on this Miss Chambers. I'll bet she'd be a pushover for that old world charm of yours.
Well, not now, after the Admiral's told her about this little episode.
Then we'll have to see her before he does. We'll order a fast car and go down there at once. It's our only chance.
Steady, don't lose your head. You can't go just dashing off like that. One has commitments, you know. Let me see, it's Thursday, isn't it? Yes, tonight my wife has her friends round. You're right, we'd better go.
Quick, you authorize my expense sheet and I'll authorize yours.
Good idea.
If we can get Miss Chambers to sell her place, the Admiral will have to come round.
Well, this is the house, too. Can't think why Miss Chambers so anxious to hang on to it. Not in very good repair, is it?
No, it looks as if it's only kept together by the Death Watch beetles holding hands.
I'll knock. Now, look, too, when she answers, I want you to let me do the talking. I wasn't in the diplomatic branch all those years for nothing, you know.
No, all right, you are one. You turn on the charm, and I'll put my foot in the door.
I hardly think that'll be necessary.
Yes?
Oh, good afternoon. How do you do, Miss Chambers?
Oh, my foot!
Kindly remove it from my door. I know you. You're the men from the ministry, aren't you?
Now, come, Miss Chambers. Can't we talk this over? We've come a long way, you know.
Oh, very well. Come in.
Thank you.
I thought my neighbour, Admiral Mumpley, had already been to see you.
Yes, wipe your feet, too. Yes, he's been to see us, indeed he has. Most cooperative and helpful. He's selling his property, of course.
He is.
Yes, that's correct.
It's very extraordinary. I understood that.
Yes, Mr. Chambers, and you'll do the same now, won't you? I have the agreement here for you to sign. You won't want to stay when the Admiral's place is taken over by the army, get chased around by a lot of rough soldiers.
Really?
But, it's not so ridiculous as it sounds. Isolated spot like this, the strangest things could happen.
How dare you?
Anyway, a charming girl like you shouldn't be stuck in a place like this. Sell it to us, and you can have a bit of a fling while you're still comparatively young. Oh, I beg your pardon. Well, I meant, I compared with a tortoise, for instance. Some of those tortoises live to be 200, I'm told. So we over 50s have quite a long way to go yet, I hope.
Kindly leave my house at once.
No, you haven't signed the bill of sale yet, Miss Chambers.
Nor shall I. I do not propose to sell this property.
I see. You realize, Miss Chambers, we can use compulsory purchase if we have to.
Oh, no, you won't.
Oh, good heavens.
Not when the national press print what I've told them.
Admiral Monthly.
I just got back from London. Saw your door ajar, so came straight in. Heard this bounder trying to pull the wool over your eyes. Take no notice.
Don't worry, I didn't.
I don't think the diplomacy was a great success one. Do you mind if I try another tack?
Sure.
Has it occurred to you, Miss Chambers, this may be your only chance to get a good price for the house? I mean, it's in pretty bad condition, isn't it? Look at all the dry rot in this panelling, for instance. Well, you've only got to bang it and... I say, I'm terribly sorry. Did you use that staircase much?
Oh, what an outrage!
It's fantastic. But wait a minute. What's that scroll of paper? Look, inside the broken paneling.
I don't know. That paneling's been there for 800 years, and now it's smashed. I shall call the police.
Come along, too. I think it's time we were off.
This scroll must have been here all these years. Yes, look, it's parchment, dated 1241. Good heavens, it's a royal proclamation. By this deed, we, Edward I, King of England, do give to Thomas Beowulf Chambers that piece of land known as the Isle of Wight, as reward for loyal services rendered by Thomas Chambers in our foreign wars, and by his wife in his absence. The said Isle of Wight shall be ruled forever by Thomas Chambers and his heirs, on annual payment to the British Crown of 40 puffins, given under our royal hand this first day of June, 1241.
Good gracious, what an amazing thing.
Quiet, please. You see what this means, don't you? The Isle of Wight isn't part of Britain at all. It's ruled by the descendant of Thomas Chambers, and that's you, Queen Amelia.
And here is the news. An emergency meeting of the International Court of Justice at The Hague has upheld the newly discovered document giving the Isle of Wight independence. In swiftly moving developments today, the British governor was expelled from the island and Queen Amelia I was installed in Carisbrooke Castle. The Isle of Wight people are said to be solidly behind their new regime following an announcement by their Prime Minister, Horatio Mumpley, that there was a ministry plan to turn the whole island into a rocket range. In Moscow, Mr. Khrushchev called for an end to British imperialism in the Isle of Wight and announced he would be visiting Ventnor on a goodwill tour. He confirmed that Russian technicians were already arriving to help develop the island's economy. And now here is a late news flash. Admiral Mumpley has been asked about rumors that Isle of Wight forces are massing in the Cowes area for an imminent invasion of England. In reply, he said, "We should like good relations with our neighboring island, but unless we receive an immediate guarantee of non-intervention, a state of war will exist." He declined to comment on reports that the Southampton ferry, recently seized by the islanders, had today shelled Bognor Regis. Stand by for further bulletins.
Oh, April, switch it off, for goodness sake. I can't stand it. And it's all our fault. What are we going to do?
Well, if I were you, Mr. Lamb, I'd throw myself out of the window.
Thank you, Mildred. But it's no use. I couldn't commit suicide to save my life.
The papers are calling it the biggest international crisis since World War II.
My Bernard got his call-up papers this morning. He says it's the same old story. The flower of Britain's youth answering the call to arms. He thinks with any luck he'll fail his medical.
Get out of the way, too. Got that shot right at last. Thank you.
Honestly, how on earth you can play golf at a time like this, I really...
There's no sense in panicking, my dear fellow. You're on established staff, aren't you?
Yes, but I don't think even that'll save us this time. The Prime Minister's given us 24 hours to find a solution.
Yes, a bit high-handed, I thought. Mind you, I think he's rather upset about those 40 puffins the Isle of Wight people sent as payment.
Oh, by the way, Sir Gregory says we've got to move the puffins from the conference room.
Oh?
It's the noise they make. People think it's a policy subcommittee in there.
The puffins, those beastly puffins. Every time I go in, there seem to be more of them.
More of them. More puffins. Wait a minute, I think I've got it. More puffins. We ought to have more puffins.
Mildred, fetch the first aider, will you? Miss Adams is going off ahead.
Now, that Isle of Wight charter said an annual payment of 40 puffins. Don't you see? They've been failing to supply puffins for the last 800 years.
Oh?
So they've broken the charter. The island reverts to Britain.
Yeah, but...
Oh.
By Jove, you're right.
Yes.
She's right,
Yes.
April. You're marvellous. Oh, unless they send us a back payment of 32,000 puffins.
I somehow don't think that's likely to. No, I think we've got them beaten.
The International Court of Justice is sure to reverse their decision when they hear this.
Yes, quite right. I must ring up the PM and tell him I've found a solution. Any post this morning, too?
Only this card from Monte Carlo, from Admiral Mumpley and Miss Chambers.
Oh, yes.
Or I should say, Admiral and Mrs. Mumpley.
Are they enjoying their honeymoon?
Apparently. And so they jolly well should on the money the War Office paid for their property, about 3 times its proper value.
Never mind that. It was worth it to get the whole business settled. It was one thing to prove the Isle of Wight still legally belonged to Britain. It was quite another getting the islanders to settle down again.
I must say it was an inspired idea sending Wilfrid Pickles on a state visit.
The main thing was to kill that stupid rumour about turning the whole island into a rocket range. Never know how that started.
But it was you who told Admiral Mumpley.
True. Are you still hoping to get an eventual upgrading?
Yes. I'll never know how it started either.
That's right. Anyway, I know what finished it. My official statement that all proposed rocket testing sites would be in Scotland. That's what finally killed the ill feeling on the island. Nothing worse, you know. Can't have chaps making trouble on your own doorstep when we...
Excuse me, sir.
What?
I thought you'd better see this immediately. Special edition of the paper.
That's nice, so late, but no need to... Oh, my goodness. You see this, too?
What? Oh, no. Ministry rocket statement inflames Scotland.
Scottish troops invade at dawn.
Carlisle besieged by 10,000 Scottish soldiers under General Andy Stewart. Oh, no one. This is too
I mean,
much.
I've never heard something...
Smuggling through as the men from the Ministry were Wilfrid Hyde-White and Richard Murdoch, assisted by Diana Olsen, Norma Ronald and Roy Dotrice for Great Britain, and opposed by Julian Summers and Joan Sanderson for the Isle of Wight. The Men from the Ministry is written and produced by Edward Taylor. Time to meet the men from the Ministry. We present Wilfrid Hyde-White and Richard Murdoch in The Men from the Ministry, a weekly tribute to our government service, that intricate cobweb of departments, committees and subcommittees, all of whom keep minutes and many of whom waste hours. One government department with an especially proud record is the Foreign Office. Here, brilliant men skilled in the arts of diplomacy work ceaselessly to maintain good relations with other countries, ensuring, for instance, that visiting foreign dignitaries are received with traditional courtesy.
Oh, cripes, Prince Salim of Salubria wants to shove his nose in.
Salubria, where's that?
You're going to ask me someone in the Middle East, I think.
Middle East is, well, better look it up. A lot of oil out there, you know. This chap could be a VIP.
Well, let's see. Salubria.
Got it?
Yes, here we are. No oil, no uranium.
Oh, well.
No, nothing as far as I can see. It's a very small place. 50 square miles when the tide's out.
Yes, I see. Have they got an embassy in London?
No, just an accommodation address at a newsagent's in the Fulham Road.
Well, what's this chap want to come here for, then?
He wants to sign a non-aggression pact.
Oh, that's nice. Look here, what's this got to do with us? We're General Assistance Department.
Well, it seems Foreign Office are too busy to deal with Prince Salim, so they passed the job on to us.
I see.
It's all in this memo from Sir Gregory.
Let's have a look at it.
Yeah?
Due to pressure of work at the Foreign Office, General Assistance Department are required to make all arrangements for the forthcoming state visit of Prince Salim of Salubria. He is to be given full MIP treatment.
MIP? What's that?
Moderately important person. It means he's to be looked after, but he doesn't quite rate the red carpet treatment.
I see. Sort of plastic linoleum treatment.
That's it, yes, we've got it. There's a definite rate, you know, laid down for hospitality and expenses. Now, when's this chap arriving? Oh, it says here, Tuesday week.
Well, we better get arrangements in hand straight away.
I'll get my secretary to do it at once. April, would you come in here a moment, please? April, look, we've got to handle the state visit of Prince Salim of Salubria. Would you arrange accommodation and all that sort of thing?
Certainly. I'll get on to one of those big hotels in Park Lane.
Oh, no, not that, I'm afraid. No, not on MIP rates.
Oh.
Try somewhere like Bloomsbury.
Very good, Mr. Hamilton Jones.
Now, what on earth do we do with him when he gets here?
Well, for one thing, I expect he'll want a round-table conference.
Good, then you better get her to a round table, haven't you? What else?
Well, visiting dignitaries usually get shown something of London life, don't they? The opera, the racetrack, ballet.
Oh, dear, can't we think of something a bit cheaper? Or better still, something free?
Oh.
Of course we can. Art Galleries, British Museum, Hyde Park, Hampstead Heath.
Well, in the middle of winter?
He'll be all right if he wraps up well. What else can we think of?
Well, a lot of big concerns show visitors round, like the Stock Exchange, the BBC.
Oh, yes.
The Metropolitan Water Board.
Good. Yes, make a note of that, would you, April? Now, remember, both of you, we must spare no effort to give this fellow a moderately good time.
Attention, please. BEA announced that the weekend excursion flight to Paris will leave in 5 minutes. Would Mr. and Mrs. Smith take their seats, please?
There you are, too. Hello, the lounge is emptied very quickly. Where's everybody gone?
They asked for Mr. and Mrs. Smith to join the weekend flight to Paris.
I
No sign of Prince Salim's plane yet.
Attention, please. BOAC announced the arrival of Flight 212 from the Middle East. Passengers will be arriving at entry number 3.
That's it. That's the one.
Good. Have we got everything organized?
I think so, sir. The official car's at the front entrance, and the hotel's been warned to expect him.
Good, excellent. Where did you book him in, after all?
The Bijou Hotel, Chalk Farm.
I see.
He should be coming through that door at any moment. I suppose we'll know him when we see him.
Oh, of course we will. He'll be portly and regal looking, I expect, and wearing one of those hats like Lawrence of Arabia.
Well, most of the crowd are in now, but I can't see anyone answering that description. Mind you, it's hard to see with all those air hostesses running around in circles. Oh, I see they're being chased by that young fellow in a Robin Hood hat.
What a disgraceful way to carry on. I say, if you go on like that, I'll call a policeman.
In that case, I shall immediately claim diplomatic immunity.
Oh, will you? Then may I ask who you are?
Certainly. I am the Prince Salim of Salubria.
And this time you learn... welcome to Britain, Your Majesty.
Dear Prince, yes, welcome to Britain. How good to see you. My name's Hamilton Jones. This is Mr. Lamb. Take no notice, I was only joking, you know. He was only joking.
Only joking, I see, yes.
Yes, we have a car waiting for you.
Good. I must just make sure that all the baggage has been collected. Fatima, the bags.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Hello, who's this?
No one of importance. Fatima is my wife.
Your wife? Oh, dear, I'm afraid we didn't realize it was the sort of trip that wives were brought on.
Well, I was undecided, but in the end I thought I would bring a few.
Yeah, I see. Well, no doubt we can make a... What? Did you say a few?
Yes. Only 8, you see, only 8. They are the quarter-finalists in the Royal Wives Tennis Tournament, you see. Well, I brought them here as a prize. The other 56 have remained at home.
Do you mean to say you've got 64 wives?
64, yes, that is all, 64. Mm-hmm. But you must remember I have been collecting for only 10 years. Or is it 9? Anyway, I received my first 3 as a present on my 14th birthday.
Would you believe it? And all I got was a copy of Scouting for Boys.
Oh, my goodness, 8 wives. Dear me, April, I'd better ring up and book every spare room in that hotel, would you?
Very good, sir.
And who is this charming lady?
I do beg your pardon. I'm so sorry. I forgot. Your Majesty, I'd like to present to you my secretary, Miss April Adams.
Well, how very generous. You could not have chosen a nicer present. Fatima, put her with the others, please. No, do put her down. I'm afraid you don't understand. When he says he presents her to you, he...
Presents, yes.
He doesn't mean he presents her to you.
No present.
He simply means he...
I simply mean that I present her to you.
Yes.
You present her.
Good.
I see. Yes.
You see, do you? I'm
Yes.
so glad you see. Yes, that's right. Now, perhaps we better get you to your car. What? I don't think there's room for all these ladies.
That is quite all right. Wives, form a crocodile. Come along now. Fatima, you are in charge. You have your map of London. Good. If please, you gentlemen will show her where the hotel is situated. Thank you. Very good. Wives, quick march. Now, no hanging about on the way now. This is a strange country. There may be lustful men about. Good. Now, please, where is the car? I'm feeling rather tired.
Oh, yes. This way, Your Majesty. You better get some rest.
Honestly, Ron, I can truthfully say these few days with Prince Salim have been amongst the most trying of my life.
You're quite right, too. He's up to more mischief than a wagon load of monkeys. What about that time he gave us a slip at the National Gallery? It was extraordinary. You'd have thought he'd like to have seen Britain's artistic treasures, wouldn't you?
Well, when I caught him sneaking out, he said he'd sooner see him at the windmill.
Disgraceful.
Then there was that ugly scene when we showed him round St. Paul.
Oh, my goodness, yes, up in the Whispering Gallery. I'll never forget what he whispered at that party of college girls.
And what about that foggy day at the Tower of London when he chased everything in skirts and finally got knocked down by a Seaforth Highlander?
Not to mention our disastrous visit to that charity organisation.
Oh, yes. Mind you, it was rather an unfortunate choice. The Society for Saving Abandoned Women.
Perhaps it was, but he shouldn't have asked the president to save half a dozen for him, should he?
You're quite right.
Anyway, we should be on a safer wicket here, too. I don't think even Prince Salim could get up to mischief in Broadcasting House.
Yeah, it was kind of them to take him off our hands and let him sit in the studio upstairs.
Yes, nice.
You'll be able to watch the program going out and...
I'll see you.
Oh, my goodness.
What?
I've just realized which program they're doing up there.
What is it?
Woman's Hour.
Well, never mind. I expect they've got him under control.
I'll just switch on this radio and see. I think the program should be starting round about now.
What I did was my old dish mop. And here is Prudence Foot.
Thank you.
I expect many of you have stood at the kitchen sink and wondered, as I have, how to make the very best use of that raggedy old dish mop. Get on the air. Well, the other day, I had a marvelous idea. Have it immediately. Get it out of here, someone.
We must apologize for a breakdown in the transmission of that program due to unexpected interference.
Oh, no one. Another diplomatic incident.
April, is it true what Mr. Lamb's been telling me about this prince?
Well, I don't know what your boss has been telling you, Mildred, but judging from your tone of voice, yes, it is.
Oh, isn't he awful? When can I meet him?
Any minute. He's coming here to talk about the Anglo-Salubrian Treaty. H.J. wants us both to take notes.
Oh, I must go and have a wash.
Just a minute, Mildred. When he gets here, remember, no girl should turn her back in the prince's presence.
Oh, that's a form of etiquette, is it?
No, it's a form of self-defense. Now, I must make sure they've got all they want for the conference. Pencils, pads, maps, rubbers.
There's been more complaints from the hotel about the prince and his entourage.
Oh, dear, what is it this time? Hubble bubbles in the bathroom or yashmaks in the laundry basket?
No, the main thing now is the regular residents don't like the belly dancing in the billiard room.
Oh. In spite of everything, I'm most anxious this state visit to be a success. Admittedly, Salubria hasn't much to offer, but if we get this treaty nicely buttoned up, we may come in for better things. Come in.
Good morning, Mr. Hamilton Jones, Mr. Lamb.
My dear Prince, good morning. Come in. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Good. Now, won't you sit down, Your Majesty? You see all the agenda, maps and notes in front of you?
Thank you. Gentlemen, it is my sincere wish that the excellent relations between our two great countries should be strengthened by a written pact.
I think so.
That is why I have proposed this non-aggression treaty and trade agreement.
Quite right, trade agreement, yes. Now, we, for our part, are able to offer aircraft, motor cars, clothes, textiles, electrical stuff, and all kind of luxury goods.
Good, and we, for our part, can export enough sand
to fill all the egg timers in Western Europe.
Oh, splendid. It's nice to think we'll never have to face another egg timer crisis.
Yes, it is indeed, yes. What hard luck you haven't got any of this oil like your neighbors. You're sure you've had a good look?
Oh, my dear sir, we have looked everywhere, I can assure you. However, we have not only sun to offer. Oh, my goodness, no. We have also a fine selection of camels.
Oh.
With associated byproducts.
Oh, yes, I understand. Thank you. Very good. Now then, I'm sure we can work all this out to our mutual advantage.
And then, of course, we have unparalleled facilities for tourists. Oh, my word, yes.
All right, well, we'll get on to the Travel Association and see they get something started.
Yes, tell me, what degree of comfort could tourists expect? I mean, in the way of modern amenities and so on.
Well, I am thinking that you are thinking that a small country like Salubrio will be backward.
Well, I don't
But I will surprise you. Already, we have a sewer.
A sewer?
A sewer, yes.
Oh, isn't that nice?
Indeed, yes, very nice. We are being very proud of it.
Sure you are.
I had the privilege of opening it myself last month. Yes, indeed. We are naming it the Prince Salim Sewer.
Oh, what a clever idea.
Oh, it is the envy of all our neighbors, I can tell you.
Now, if we could...
We shall be pleased to arrange for tourists to visit this marvelous construction. Oh, my goodness, yes. My brother has an ex-army truck, which will be ideal for the transportation of sightseers. We can take them down to the sewer, of course. And then...
Yes. It sounds most attractive, concern. Yes, most attractive. But, Your Majesty, I think it's time we got down to brass tacks on the exact terms of this agreement. April, Mildred, you're making notes, aren't you? Now, the way I see it is this. Well, now, that seems acceptable to us.
Indeed, yes.
If I can just recap on the details, you're going to, we're going to,
May I perhaps put it this way? We shall abolish import quotas on non-perishable consumer goods while retaining a defensive hedge against deflationary dumping. And you will adjust your embargoes to absorb Salubrian sand in an expanding preferential tariff.
Yes, well, I suppose you could put it like that. Were you at the London School of Economics, by any chance?
Yes, indeed I was.
I
yes,
thought
indeed.
So, yes,
my goodness me, yes, many lovely girls I remember, yes. Those lovely black stockings, eh? Okay. Yes, there were 10 in particular I knew rather well. My goodness me, yes, they used to...
Yes, I can quite believe it. Well, I call that a very good morning's work. April, did you get all that stuff about the hedge and the sand and the expanding, whatever it was?
Yes, sir, I have it all here.
Have you ready? Bless myself. Well, then, Your Majesty, my staff will draw up the treaty in those terms, be ready for you to sign tomorrow.
Yes. Now perhaps we can persuade His Majesty to join us for a spot of lunch.
Yes, good idea.
It's fish pie in the canteen today.
Thank you, but I have prior resignation. Indeed, I have accepted so much of your kind hospitality that it is now my place to return it.
Oh, not at all, Your Majesty.
Oh, yes. I wish you all four to come to dinner tonight at the excellent Bijou Hotel, Choke Farm.
Oh,
I'm taking over the top floor for the purpose.
Yeah, really awfully good of you.
I have invited some of my countrymen who are in London to share some traditional Salubrian food. It will be a traditional Salubrian party, and my wives will perform traditional exotic dances.
Oh,
my goodness, yes, it's
well, in that case, we'd be delighted to come.
How are you enjoying the party, Mildred?
Oh, it's fun, isn't it? Fancy a top floor in Chalk Farm, and you might be in a desert harem.
Can't help thinking, there'll be more complaints from the residents.
I suppose so. That old trout in the hall didn't look too happy about the smell of joss sticks coming down the stairs.
No. I think she's even more unhappy about the camels going up the stairs. We'll better mingle about a bit, I suppose.
Have you seen April, Mildred?
Oh, yes, Mr. Lamb. The prince was chatting her up in the next room.
Oh, was he? I'm afraid he's after her, I'd better go and do a rescue act.
Oh, it's all right. She gave him the slip. Daft thing. I think she's watching the snake charmer in the bathroom.
Oh, yes, here comes the prince on his own.
Greetings. Tell me, have you seen a small, blonde bus conductress about so high? I proposed to her a 24 bus this afternoon, but she turned me down. So I'm asking her to my party to have another try.
But are you sure you need another wife, Your Majesty? I mean, surely 64's enough, isn't it?
Enough?
Yes.
Yes, perhaps. But you see, the true collector never gives up, Particularly when one has almost got the full set.
The full set?
The full set, yes. There are 66 different types of wife in the full harem set. I have them all, you see, except for the tall, thin brunette and the medium-sized plump redhead.
Then why do you want a small blonde? You must have one already.
But, my dear chap, if one has two the same, they're always useful for swaps. Well, if my bus conductress is not here, I shall seek the beautiful Miss Adams. Excuse me, please.
Just a minute. He's disappeared into the smoke from all these hubble bubbles. It looks as if he's on the prowl. It's lucky that I'm here to protect you, Mildred.
Oh, thanks very much. Oh, I wish you'd mind your own business.
Where's H.J., by the way?
He's sitting on a couch with the prince's head wife drinking wine from a goat skin. I don't think he wanted to be disturbed.
What did you say? Oh, yes, how kind of you. I'd love another piece of Turkish delight. Thank you. I don't think I ought to have any more wine, though. Well, perhaps just another skinful. How very kind of you. How very kind of you.
It is kind of you to honor our humble celebrations, Mr. Hamilton Jones.
Oh, don't call me Mr. Hamilton Jones, my dear. Call me Roland.
Roland.
Roland, yes.
It has a sound like surf breaking on a moonlit shore.
Do you think so? Actually, they named me after the vicar. Now, I'll
And my name is Fatin.
Oh, they named you after the vicar, too. What a charming name. What do your friends call you for short?
The prince's head wife has no friends. If the prince found me dallying with a man, his revenge would be swift and terrible.
Would it be swift? Oh, I see. Well, thank you very much indeed. I think I'll just go and see how my colleagues are getting on.
No, please. I like to talk to you. Britain is fortunate to be ruled by men so wise and strong.
How funny you should say that, my dear. I've often thought the same. And the prince, if I may say so, the prince is fortunate to have such a charming little wife. Well, charming little head wife, eh? Little head wife.
There you are, Mr. Hamilton Jones.
Oh, here I am, Mr. Hamilton. Prince, yes. You are just having a little bit of Turkish delight.
Yes, well, as guests of honor, will you and Mr. Lamb lead the way to dinner?
Of course. Two were guests of honor. Did you hear that? Come here.
I did.
We've got to lead the way into dinner.
Oh, husband.
Yes.
Gentlemen, please be seated.
Yes, thank you very much. What on?
On the floor, of course. Don't fuss. It's an Eastern custom.
Oh, is it? All right. Well, I'll have to be careful not to show my suspenders. I say I'm starving.
In accordance with our custom, I begin the banquet by presenting to our guests of honor the great traditional delicacy of our country, which they will share between them.
Oh, what a charming idea.
Peace be with you, gentlemen.
And peace be with you too, Prince. Yes, thank you very much. You think of everything. Now, what about this delicacy? What is it exactly?
Well, it is a whole sheep's eye.
Oh, a whole sheep's eye. Here you are. Let me
No, thanks, man. No. I don't feel so hungry now. You have it.
No, my dear fellow, you have it. You can have my share as well.
No, honestly, it's too great an honor. You have it.
No, you have it.
No, you have it.
No, you have it.
I won't.
You will.
I can't.
You must.
Watch out, I've heard about this. If you refuse, it's a deadly insult.
Yes, but if I accepted the whole sheep's eye. Oh, one, you have it.
No, I wouldn't dream of it. You have it.
Come, gentlemen, what is this delay?
Oh, there's a little delay. Well, it's my assistant, Your Majesty. He's rather modest about accepting such honors, you know. However, too, bearing in mind other honors you're hoping to receive, like that pension at 60, I'm sure you'll change your mind, won't you?
Oh, yes, I suppose I will.
Well, too, you didn't eat much dinner. Oh, dear, the prince is standing up. That means speeches.
My friends, this is a suspicious occasion for all of us.
Here.
Thank you. Tomorrow I shall sign a treaty binding together Britain and Solubria. But tonight I have thought of a symbolic union which shall link our two great powers even closer.
Here.
What's he talking about, one?
I don't know. I wasn't listening.
I refer to the special bond of marriage. I am pleased to say that my choice for the 65th bride in the Solubrium Harlem has fallen on a British girl, Miss April Adams.
What do you say? What do you mean by that?
I say, April.
Do you know anything about this?
Oh, only that I'm not very keen on the idea.
I should think not indeed. 65th.
I'm sure my generous British host will be agreeing to this.
Not on your salubrian Nelly. I've never heard of such a thing.
Come, gentlemen. This is not the spirit of mutual cooperation of which we spoke.
That's got nothing to do with it. When we said we'd supply you with all kinds of luxury goods, that didn't include ministry secretaries.
Then I must make it clear that if I do not marry Miss Adams, I shall not sign the treaty.
But this is monstrous.
Monstrous is it? You choose to insult the good name of Salubria. You know my terms. Miss Adams hand in marriage or no treaty.
But Her Majesty's government...
I am not wishing to know about Her Majesty's government. Kindly leave the Bijou Hotel chauffeur.
Very well. Come along, True. I have a feeling we're not welcome.
Oh, dear. What is Sir Gregory in the Foreign Office going to say? We've said goodbye to the treaty and trade agreement.
Well, it's a pity, of course. Still, he's only a moderately important person after all. It's not as if Salubria had oil or anything. I shouldn't be surprised if Sir Gregory's glad to see the last of it.
Well, I hope you're right.
The stars are bright tonight, Abdul. I think our Salubrian ancestors smile on us.
It is so, my friend. They know that while Prince Salim tarries in the land of infidels, we shall smite a blow for old Salubria. Salim shall learn we do not want these modern toys which change the face of our land. The ways of our forefathers shall be the ways of our grandchildren.
This is the sewer.
So, the Prince Salim sewer. You have brought the hand grenade which Cousin Ahmed picked up at Tobruk.
Even so, Abdul.
Then strike. So perish the unholy schemes of Western infidels.
It is well done, my brother.
By the beard of the province, what is this?
Help! This foul black liquid is all over me. It is gushing forth as a mighty fountain.
Hello, Foreign Office? What? Where? Oh, my goodness. Very urgent, yes, I see. What is it, Captain? Panic stations. They've made the biggest oil strike of the century some place called Salubria. The PM wants us to fix an immediate treaty with their ruler, Prince Salim. But he's not in his country at the moment.
Tricky. One of the great powers got hold of it already, I expect. Probably wooing him for treaty themselves.
Treacherous swine. Well, they won't beat us. Bring him I-5. Tell him we must find out what country Prince Salim's visiting. We've got to get hold of him. Top priority.
Morning, man. You're just in time for 11s.
Oh, good, good. Heard anything from the prince?
No, I imagine he crept off home with a flea in his ear.
Yes, from that hotel, I'm not surprised. You know, the more I think about it, the more I'm convinced that Gregory will be glad to get rid of him, save all that expense and embarrassment.
Yes.
All right, I'm nearest. I'll take it. Hello, hello.
Ah, Hamilton Jones, thank goodness I caught you.
Oh, Sir Gregory, how are you? How are you?
Never mind that, never mind that. What about Prince Salim?
Never mind, Prince. What did you say? Oh, funny, I was just going to ring you, Sir Gregory. I think you'll be rather pleased.
That's a relief. Everything all right then?
Yes, that's right. We've got rid of him.
You've got what?
Yes, sent him home with a fly in his ear or flea in his eye. Which was it? What did you say?
Did you say you got rid of him?
Yes, that's right.
Salim and Salubria?
Yes, got rid of Prince. I knew you'd be pleased. No more expense.
You bungling idiots.
What's that?
Salubria's found oil in a big way.
I beg your pardon?
Salim's the most important man in the Middle East.
Yes, but quite apart from all... What did you say? Oh, dear me. Perhaps you're not so pleased after all, then.
Bunch of blundering buffoons.
Oh, careful.
You gang of incompetent nitwits.
Steady, Sir Gregory. You'll do yourself a mischief.
Listen, I asked you to fix a treaty with the man.
Is that what you did? Yes. Oh, yes. Well, we've got the treaty. Oh, yes. Don't worry. My staff drew up the treaty yesterday. We've got the treaty, yes.
Just say so, man.
Yes.
Oh, dear.
Yes, you're silly old...
If you've got the treaty, we're all right.
Yes, you're all right.
I'm sorry. I did you an injustice.
Yes,
didn't
you
I?
did, you know.
Well, when did the prince sign the treaty?
When did the prince... Oh, he hasn't signed it, Sir Gregory. No. Matter of fact, come to think of it, he said he wasn't going to. Oh, dear me, I think Sir Gregory's fainted. He doesn't keep himself too fit, you know, put on a lot of weight.
Now, listen. This I've got just one thing to say to you.
Oh, he's come back again.
Anglo-Salubrian
What?
treaty signed,
Yes?
sealed,
Sealed?
into the Foreign Office
Oh.
within 12 hours, or you'll both be out of a job.
Oh, dear, I see. Well, Sir Gregory, give my regards to Lady Gregory. Well, he's gone. I don't like the sound of this, too. For 2 pins, Sir Gregory would turn a bit nasty.
You mean if the prince won't sign our treaty, it's the axe?
And he won't sign unless April marries him.
But that's utterly unthinkable. Only the lowest, rottenest cad could ever consider the idea.
I quite agree with you. Desperate we may be, but there are some depths to which one cannot sink.
But, April, think of the sunshine.
Yeah.
The luxury, the companionship of those other 64 wives. You'd love it.
And remember, you'll only have 1/65th of the washing up to do.
But you see, it just isn't the kind of marriage I've always dreamed of.
But much.
You know, just 2 people in some little cottage with wisteria spreading on the walls.
Well, this'll be just 66 people in a dirty great palace with hysteria spreading everywhere. It's a question of adapting yourself, that's all.
I'm sorry, Mr. Lamb. I'd do almost anything to help you both, but not this.
Well, then, let me put it another way. Doesn't it occur to you there are times when one must put one's country's interests before one's own?
How do you mean, sir?
My dear girl, don't you see what's at stake here? Your country needs that treaty. We need Salubrian oil. Oil, my dear girl, is the, oil is the...
lifeblood of modern commerce?
Yes, oil is the lifeblood of modern commerce, oh, yes. And without it, a country can...
die like a withered leaf?
Die like a withered leaf, my dear, yes. Don't keep interrupting me. Can't you see, April, if Salim doesn't sign for us, other powers will step in. There could be an ugly struggle, my dear girl, a 3rd World War.
Oh, well, if that's the way things are, I suppose I'll have to say
Good
yes.
girl, good. I knew you wouldn't let us down.
Oh.
Quick, too, we must get her to the prince before she changes her mind. Good morning, Your Majesty. I hope you're... Where is he?
I think that's the prince standing on his head in the corner.
Oh, you're quite right, yes, Your Majesty. We've come to sort out last night's silly little misunderstanding. Of course, Miss Adams will be delighted to marry you.
One moment, please. I have just completed 1 hour upside down. Miss Adams, you are most kind, but I'm afraid marriage between us is not possible.
What? Not possible? What do you mean, Prince? You were pretty keen on the idea last night.
Indeed, yes. Indeed, last night I behaved most badly and was punished by indigestion of a most painful degree. As a result, I have taken the advice of the wise old prophet and shall from henceforth devote my life to righteousness and contemplation. No more rich food and drink. No more wives. I am preparing to become a monk.
Oh, but that's marvelous. If you don't want to marry April, there's nothing to hold up the treaty. Perhaps you'd like to sign now while you're the right way up. By lucky chance, I have it with me.
Now, one moment, please. I cannot sign your treaty.
Cannot sign the treaty? Why ever not?
Because I no longer rule Salubria, you see.
What?
In my quest for the simple life, I have renounced the throne of my country.
You've renounced the... My goodness, then who does rule?
I have given the throne to my former head wife, Fatima.
Well, she'll sign the treaty, of course.
Well, she tells me she will sign it only on one condition.
One condition? What's that?
As queen, Fatima will be entitled to 92 husbands.
Oh.
She insists you must go to Salubria as one of them.
Well, of course, my dear. What did you say?
Juan, there are times when you have to put your country's interests before your own.
No, I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. I tell you, I won't do it.
Modelling crew in The Men from the Ministry were Wilfred Hyde-White and Richard Murdoch, assisted by Diana Olson, Norma Ronald.
Time to meet the Men from the Ministry. We present Wilfred Hyde-White and Richard Murdoch in The Men from the Ministry, a weekly tribute to the men who rule our lives and who know that you cannot fool all the people all the time. Unless you make a full-time job of it. Government officials know the need for practical experience of the matters they deal with. Those working for the Ministry of Agriculture, for instance, must learn about farming and animals.
Well, that's got all the cows in the milking sheds. Now let's get the tractor out.
No, I thought we might do something about these geese next. Move them out of the field back into the farmyard.
Oh, let's get the tractor out
No, I'm
first.
awfully sorry, but I'm going to move the geese. Would you excuse me, please?
Oh, now
dear.
look what you've done.
It's your fault.
Knocked the whole farm onto the floor. I heard things break, too.
The only one that's broken is the giraffe, and he looked out of place on a farm anyway.
Perhaps he did, but he was only ninepence, and I thought he looked rather nice. Oh, well, I suppose we'd better get on with some work now anyway. Since we've been with the Minnebag, it's been all go, hasn't it?
There's a vital job to be done, you know. These farmer chaps are very headstrong. There's no knowing what colossal amounts of food they'd grow if we didn't keep them in check.
Quite apart from these independent types who won't conform to ministry
That
rules.
reminds me, what happened to that fellow who's giving trouble with his vegetable marrows? Growing them with less than the requisite number of pips, wasn't he?
That's right. When we pointed out his marrows didn't meet government specifications, he turned very nasty.
Yes, I remember. Hit back by breeding a marrow with the stripes going round and round instead of a line. Wretched business. What did we do?
Oh, heavy fine. Stopped his fertilizer allocation.
Of course. Only thing we could do. And Miss Adams said we'd had some problem from the egg marketing board. What was that?
Yes, there's a consignment of eggs they've overlooked.
Oh.
Been in the warehouse for 8 weeks. They were wondering if they could stamp them with the little lion. I said it'd be all right if the little lion was holding its nose.
Very good.
I don't think they were very pleased.
Well, I'm not surprised. You know, you mustn't joke about ministry matters. No. How about the milk marketing board? Any reaction on that bunch of new slogans we submitted?
I had their reply today. I'm afraid they're still obsessed by that drink a pint of milker stuff.
Why? What's their note say?
Well, talking about the new slogans we sent them, it says, "Gotcha letter yesterday, what a lot of wasted ink. Not a bit of good at all, better have another think."
Well, that's not very nice of them after all the hard work we put in. Well, now I've solved all these problems, I think I'll stroll down to St. James's Park and feed the ducks. Pass me that file from the in tray, would you?
Yeah, this one marked United Kingdom wheat produce.
That's the one, yes. Got all those old crusts and breadcrumbs in it. Thank you.
Have you forgotten the man from the Rhubarb Marketing Board? He's coming to see us at 12:15.
Good gracious, yes, the Rhubarb Marketing Board. What a nuisance.
Apparently he's been sent by the minister, so he must be rather important.
The minister, yes, he must be. I suppose we'd better look businesslike, hadn't we? Pop that putter in the cupboard, would you, please? Yes. And put this file away. Oh, dear, all the bread's dropped on the floor.
All right, I'll gather it up and put it somewhere.
Don't put it in a wastepaper basket, too. It looks tatty.
All right, I'll put it in this box for the moment.
Yeah, wretched time for anyone to call.
Excuse me, your secretary said I was to come straight in.
Oh, of course, come straight in. You're the Rhubarb man.
Oh, Wright is my name, Rudwell Wright.
I see.
The secretary of the Rhubarb Marketing Board.
Of course. Delighted to see
Thank
you.
you.
Too, Mr. Wright has come along.
How
do you do? I'm Hamilton Jones. This is my assistant, Richard Lamb. We're both keen rhubarb eaters.
Yes, indeed. Nothing to touch rhubarb
Careful.
Nothing to touch it.
Oh, how interesting. Well, I can't stand the stuff myself.
Oh?
Very coarse vegetable, I always think.
Yes, I quite agree with you. I think so myself. Yes. Do sit down, my dear fellow, and tell us how we can help.
Oh, thank you. As I expect you know, the Rhubarb Marketing Board exists primarily to supervise the marketing of rhubarb.
Is that so?
And in particular, of course, to maintain the highest standards for the British product.
Highest standard, of course, nothing else.
We have to ensure that anyone buying British rhubarb knows what they're buying.
Oh, they'd hardly buy rhubarb by accident, would they?
Yes, quite. And it's especially vital at this time when British rhubarb has to compete with rhubarb from Iron Curtain companies.
Oh, never thought of that.
No, what I might call...
Red rhubarb?
Red rhubarb, exactly. It is especially vital that all British rhubarb is of standard length and thickness. Now, on the whole, the farmers cooperate very well, but at the moment, we are having a spot of trouble. That's why the minister asked me to come along and put you in the picture.
Oh, the minister, yes, quite right. Would you have a cigarette, Mr.
Right. Thank you. The box seems to be full of bread. Stale bread.
Stale bread? What are you talking about? Oh, yes, of course. Oh, stale bread, yes. Samples, yes. For analysis. Just push it aside. You'll find the cigarettes underneath somewhere.
There is one fellow who won't cooperate at all.
Yes?
A chap called Burge, Nathaniel Burge. He has a farm down in the West Country.
Gives trouble, does he?
Oh, indeed he does. He persistently flouts one of our principal rules, which is that all rhubarb should be cut and marketed at not more than 14 inches long. He grows, you will scarcely believe this, he actually grows his anything up to 16 inches.
Oh, That won't do at all. Nasty business.
The swine.
Yes.
Yes, I knew you'd be shocked. His idea, of course, is to get more rhubarb.
I see.
But anyway, we wrote him several letters to which he didn't reply.
Oh.
Then 6 weeks ago, we sent one of our chaps from Bristol down to see him.
Oh, what happened?
We don't know. He hasn't come back yet.
Hasn't come back? Good gracious, you don't mean there's been violence?
Now, nothing as simple as that. The Bristol office simply got a letter from their man. Said he was resigning to start a small holding and planned to grow rhubarb 20 inches long.
Government servant going over to the enemy?
Well, of course, he was a provincial man.
Oh, I see. He was a provincial man.
It's obvious now, you see, that this thing must be dealt with at a higher level. And that's why we want you, too, to go down and see Bert.
Could you tell us something more about him?
Well, he fancies himself as a bit of a rebel. I mean, you know the sort. He's an old chap about 80, apparently. A bit touched, I should think.
Yeah, but you did say he wasn't violent.
Oh, I'm sure there's no likelihood of that.
Well, I think you'd find we could get this chap into line for you. Tell you what, we'll take a book of regulations down and see what else we can catch him on. That'll be the game.
Yes, capital. You only have to tell him that if he doesn't toe the line, the board can fine him heavily and cut off his subsidy.
Oh, we'll cut off his... Oh, yes, in no time. Yes. Oh, it's as good as off. Yes, the West Country will look marvellous at this time of year. It'll be a chance to get a bit of sunshine.
I've not seen a better drop of rain since the floods in 1908. They certainly picked the right old day for their visit, didn't they, Rebecca?
Oh. Who picked the right old day for a visit, Nathaniel?
Them fancy folk from London did. Them men from the ministry. Danged impudence. You saw their letter, didn't you? Coming today they are. Inspect mine crop, they said, with a view to disciplinary measures.
Oh. What time you reckon they'll be here, then?
There's only one train into grinding all today, and that's at 12 o'clock. So I reckon they'll be here about 5.
Oh. I suppose they'll be taking old George's taxi from a station.
No. I don't think old George will be running his taxi today, Rebecca.
How can you be so sure of that, then?
Well, I happened to slip old George a little something to stay in bed today.
What little something did you slip in, then, Nathaniel?
2 tons of Swedes. Yeah, slipped them off the back of me lorry while old George was looking up me big end.
Oh, then how will the gentleman from London get here from the station?
Well, shanks his pony, I expect.
Oh, you mean walk? But it's all a 4 mile.
4 miles? 10 miles, if you come by way of Wurzel Bottom.
Oh, but no one had come by way of Wurzel Bottom, Nathaniel.
They would have signposts at crossroads been moved round in the night, they would.
Oh, well, I suppose they'll get here in the end.
They'll get here right enough. It's getting away they'll find a bit more difficult, won't they, eh? Tell you what, Rebecca, when the rain stops, do you go down to the village to the chemist. Get a new roll of film for my daddy's camera. Yeah, Gert Luby's from London Oil, teach 'em.
It's no use, man. I can't walk another step.
Pull yourself together. We're nearly there.
We must have come 10 miles.
Well, it's given our clothes time to dry after that storm anyway. Must look on the bright side, you know.
Oh, my feet are almost numb.
Don't bother about your feet. Come on, show a bit of spirit.
Well, it's all very well for you sitting in the wheelbarrow, but I've got to do the pushing.
Now, don't fuss. We were lucky to find this wheelbarrow. Seems the only thing with wheels in the whole county. And it's most important at least one of us will keep fresh to give this road what for.
That may be, but I think it's the most undignified way for a ministry official to arrive.
Quite right. Soon as we get within sight of the farm, I'll get out. I don't mind a bit of walking, you see.
Well, that's Sunnybrook Farm round the corner.
Is it? Then if you just rest the wheelbarrow a moment.
Yeah.
Oh, that's better. Yeah. Give me a bit of a brush down, would you?
Right.
Must remember that to these simple people we represent all the prestige and dignity of London. We're the voice of the government, the symbol of authority.
I don't think we'll get this muck off your trousers.
What are you talking about?
I don't know what was in the wheelbarrow before.
That'll do. Now, there's the gate. I'll lead the way, then they'll know we mean business.
Yeah. What was that?
I should say it was a shotgun. But the fellow's not violent, according to Rudwell Wright.
Well, Rudwell Wright could be very well wrong.
I'll be very cross if he is. Now, you go in first.
But if he's got a shotgun...
Oh, don't be silly, too. He'd never dare shoot at a ministry man. He'd get 20 years.
Yes, I know that, and you know that, but... I wonder if he knows it.
Hello there.
Hello. How do you do?
Well, I expect you'll be the men from the ministry, eh?
Yes, we be the men from the... I beg your pardon. I mean, we're the men from the ministry, yes. Yeah, you can get 20 years for shooting at a senior official, or 13 for shooting my assistant.
Now, don't you worry about this here old gun, sir. I've been shooting rooks.
Have you?
Rooks.
Then perhaps I should remind you that under the Firearms and Flintlocks Act of 1648, paragraph 5, it's illegal to discharge firearms near the public highway.
Oh, is it? Oh,
yes.
Well, I beg your pardon, sir. I must have missed that bit when I read it.
Well, you better read it again.
Yeah, I will, sir. But now, look, I'll just put this gun away, sir. Wouldn't want to go breaking the law, sir. Now, if you'll just both step inside the yard here.
There you are, too, you see. What you've got to do is to take a strong line with these people. Must put your foot down.
Yes. Only, mind what you put your foot down into.
I take it that you're the owner of this property, Mr. And your full name is Nathaniel Burge, am I right?
Yes, quite right, sir. Yes, Nathaniel Albert St. Pancras Burge.
St. Pancras?
That's right, sir, yes. Well, my old dad, you see, he went on one of these here newfangled steam trains once. He saw the name and took a fancy to it. Now, if you don't want to stand around here fiddle-faddling, do you?
No.
Come along inside and have a cup of tea, will
Very
you?
kind of you, Mr. Burge, but I think you should know that we're here on a mission of some gravity.
Yes, and we ought to go straight out and inspect the rhubarb before it gets dark.
Oh, no. It gets dark very late in these parts.
Does
yes.
it?
Oh, very late, yes. Well, it's on account of the church clock. You see, it's slow.
Oh, yeah.
Now, come along in, will you? Now, never mind about the tea, eh? We'll have a little drink, shall us?
Very well, perhaps for a moment, then. Come along, too. Look out, the front door's a bit low.
Oh! What was that one?
Doesn't matter now.
This way, gentlemen. Now then, sit you down. That's right. Rebecca, bring in some of your rhubarb wine for the gentlemen.
Yeah. Look, Mr. Burge, we really shouldn't trouble your good lady, and we've got a lot of questions to ask you.
No trouble. Now, here you are. Rebecca. Now, these are the gentlemen from London.
How do you do? How do you do,
from London,
Mrs. Burge?
How do you do? I'm sure.
How do you do?
How do you do? I'm sure, yes. Mr. Burge, we're here on behalf of the Rhubarb Marketing Board.
Yes, of course you are. Well, don't worry. Rebecca will give you the recipe before you go. Now then, a nice drop of this will see you all right, eh? There we are. Now let's all drink up then, eh? Here. Here's the good old ministry.
Oh, well, I suppose we'll have to drink to that. Thank you.
Might as well try this stuff anyway.
Cheers.
Good luck to you.
Thank you. Oh, I say, this is really rather good, I must say.
It isn't bad, is it?
No.
A little rough and unpretentious, of course.
Well, of course.
Yes, I'll have some more if you insist.
Of course. Well, bless you. Some more for you too, sir, eh?
Thank you.
Plenty here, you know, yes. Rebecca puts down 20 gallons every year.
Do you really?
Gallons,
Very clever of you. Yeah. Now then, we really must be getting down to business. Mr. Burge, the ministry's been given to understand that you're growing rhubarb of longer than statutory length.
You see, the fact is that we're simple country folk. You see, we don't know about this here measuring things. Now, I left school at 11, I did. Of course, I only started when I was 10 and a half. So, it's no wonder I get confused with all this talk and measuring things.
Oh, I see.
Rebecca, fill the gentleman's glass.
Oh, thank you.
Get another few bottles, will you, old girl? This one nearly empty.
Oh, very well, Nathan.
Oh? It's not only the length of your rhubarb, Mr. Burge.
No.
There seem to be other irregularities. For instance, as we came in the house, I couldn't help noticing a large black bull looking out of one of the upstairs windows.
Yeah, that's quite right, sir. That's old Rufus. He's a beauty, isn't he?
Possibly, but you must realize it's quite against ministry regulations for a bull of that size to have no ring through its nose.
It's quite right. You can't just flout the rules, Mr. Burge. That's why we're here to see you.
And very kind of you to come all this way, sir, I say. Now, let me pour you another drop of wine.
Thank you. Of course, you won't find us unreasonable. If you play ball with the ministry will play ball with you. And in that way, we can
all play ball together.
We can all play ball together. Exactly, yes. This rhubarb wine really is excellent. Very subtle flavor, isn't it?
So old Fred said, he said, why didn't you try to turn the old cow round the other way?
Very amusing, Mr. Burge. Thank you. You're quite a raconteur, you know. By the way, did I tell you that story I heard on the bus the other day?
No, I don't believe you did.
Well, then I hope she'll have the pleasure of telling it to us now,
Yes,
sir.
certainly.
And we'll hear it. Now, fill up the glasses, Rebecca.
No, really, it's the third bottle.
Don't you worry, sir. Oh, don't worry. It is very gentle, this rhubarb wine.
It's gentle.
Oh, yes. The Berger down in the village, he drank 12 bottles last New Year's Eve.
Oh, and didn't he wake up with a hangover?
Oh, no hangover at all. Well, as a matter of fact, he didn't wake up at all. But then, of course, he'd been poorly for a long while, you see. With the crumbles, you know.
Oh, the crumbles.
Yeah,
Crumbles.
Well, good health.
Yeah, good luck with it.
Now, what about the sheriff's story of yours?
Oh, yes, well, I thought it was rather amusing. A fellow in front of me in the bus was telling it to his friend.
Oh.
It was about an Englishman, an Irishman, and a Scotsman.
He's going to be a very good one.
Yes, I think so. Just wait a minute now.
Yeah.
It seems that the Englishman, the Irishman, and Scotsman were all staying in a hotel.
Yeah.
And then there was a chambermaid,
Yeah.
who apparently was a rather attractive girl, attractive chambermaid, you know. She was going around the rooms, turned down the beds and that sort of thing. You follow me?
We're with you so
Yes,
far.
good. Well, she went to the Scotsman's room, and he said, I won't attempt to do a Scots accent, though the fellow on the bus did it rather well. Anyway, the Scotsman said, I shan't want tea in the morning. So then she went into the Scotsman's room, and...
No. She's
What?
been in the Scotsman's room. This must have been the Englishman's or the Irishman's.
Oh, I say, did I say she was in the Scotsman's room? Yes. Well, you're quite right, thank you very much. Then she must have gone into the Irishman's room, you see? And the Irishman said, I shall want tea in the morning. Yes. And after that, the girl went into the... which room has she been in? She went into the Englishman's room. Yes, that's right. She went in the Englishman's room. Yes.
Well, what happened then?
I don't know. The bus reached Hyde Park Corner and the fella got off. Rather a pity, I thought.
Well, never mind, sir, never mind. It was quite funny enough as it were. As far as it went. Very good, sir. Weren't it, Rebecca?
Yes,
funny, Very funny.
Do you mind if I call you Rebecca? Yes. My goodness, I haven't enjoyed myself so much since VJ night. Or was it V night? I always get it muddled up. Drink up, too. You're lagging behind.
I was just thinking what a marvellous time people have in the country. You know, we Londoners have lost touch with life's simple pleasures.
Yes, simple pleasure. You're quite right.
I don't know how you put up with that there in London, from what I hear of it. You don't have no fresh air? Don't wake up and hear the birds singing?
No, you sometimes wake up and hear the birds coughing.
And there's all that traffic and the noise, not the way we were meant to live, you know.
You're quite right there, sir.
Of course, I'm a countryman at heart, actually, descended from farming stock, you know. Gentlemen farmers, of course.
What a coincidence.
I thought you two looked as if you knowed something about farming.
Oh, know something about it, my dear fellow. It's my keenest interest. Often thought of buying a little place when I retire, as a matter of fact.
Hey, me too.
Well, you're very wise, gentlemen, but why wait to retire? Now, funnily enough, I happen to know a nice little small holding going cheap right now.
Oh, for sale, you mean? Oh, I don't know about that.
Oh, I hardly think one could travel up to the ministry every day from here.
No, I don't think we could.
No. Perhaps I brought up a bit too soon. And, well, have a few more glasses, and then we'll talk about it later.
I hate to mention it, but I suppose it really is time we went out to look at the farm.
Yes, I suppose it is. Quite right. Mr. Burge, we really must go out and look at the farm.
Oh, bless you, sir. You can't go out there now. It's dark.
Dark?
Dark.
So it's, bless myself. Do you realize it's 11 o'clock?
Oh, dear. Well, it looks as if we'll have to go away and come back tomorrow morning.
Yes.
No, we can go away. No, never. No, wouldn't hear of it. We can put you up for the night, can't we, Rebecca?
Yeah. But we've got rooms at the village inn.
No, they'll have locked up by now. Now, you stay here. That's all settled.
Well, very kind of you, Mr. Burge. Well, what do you think, too? We could get an early start in the morning and see over the whole farm, couldn't we?
Well, I'm happy if you are one.
Yes, well, how kind
as long as it's not the room with the bull in it.
Don't you worry about that, sir. That's Rebecca's room now. We'll fix you up. All nice and snug, we'll fix you up. And anyway, the party can go on for a bit, can't it? Now, fill the glasses, Rebecca, and wind up the gramophone. Go on. We'll have some dancing.
There's no getting away from it, too. They certainly know how to enjoy themselves in the country. Be quiet. That's better. What's that? Oh, my head. Where am I? Two, what do you think you're doing lying on the mantelpiece? Two, wake up. Wake up.
Oh, where am I?
You're in the fireplace now. What are we doing here, for heaven's sake?
Oh, it's coming back to me. The farm, the party.
Oh.
That chap Burge put us up.
Oh, my goodness, yes.
How do you feel, one?
Terrible. What's the time?
7 o'clock. Do you think it's worth going to sleep again?
Not unless you can be sure you wouldn't wake up again. What were we drinking last night? Sheep dip?
Oh. Mrs. Burge's rhubarb wine.
Rhubarb wine? Oh, dear. Is that what it was? Rhubarb. That rings a bell. Oh, yes. We got to give this chap Burge what for? About his rhubarb. Of course we
That's
have.
right. It's obvious the old devil's been breaking the rules.
Obvious.
Remember how he kept holding us back last night when we wanted to go out and inspect the crop?
I don't remember a great deal about last night, but I do remember that. Pass me my socks, would you please?
Yeah.
Thank you. And my briefcase, if you would. Just check the essential papers.
Here you are, one. The way I feel this morning, Mr. Burge won't know what hit him.
Let me see now. Form 101, output questionnaire. Hello, what's this?
What's what?
It looks like a bill of sale. By this deed, we, the undersigned, do herewith purchase from Nathaniel Burge that 30 acres of desirable farming land known as arid pastures. In consideration whereof, we shall pay the said Nathaniel Burge a sum of £10,000, signed Roland Hamilton Jones, Richard Lamb. Oh, my goodness.
But that's us.
Well, of course it's us. How did it happen?
Oh, dear, I think it must have been somewhere after the bit where you stopped remembering.
Do you remember it?
I'm beginning to get a ghastly
These
glimmer.
are our signatures, all right. It's monstrous, monstrous.
Tear it up.
No good doing that. Bird is sure to have a copy.
Well, it looks like a legal document, too.
Don't you see? This is how he trapped that poor devil from the Bristol office.
It's fantastic. Anyone who's after him, he fills with rhubarb wine and sells a small piece of land for a large piece of money. Changes him overnight from avenging angel into Dan Archer.
Yes. Well, he may have fooled the Bristol chap, but he won't fool me. There are a dozen reasons why no court would uphold this contract. Now, let's find that crumbling rustic and tell him so.
I reckon I could manage another 3 of them there poached eggs.
Oh, here are then, Nathaniel.
Just have a couple more steaks, that's it. Busy day today. I gotta shoot them wood pigeons in the top field, and then I gotta shoot them rooks.
Oh. What about the men from the ministry, then?
Well, I may not need to shoot them after all. Yeah, I reckon they'll shoot themselves when they see how the land lies, eh? We'll have no more bother from they.
Ah, there you are, Burge. We want a word with you, please.
Morning, gentlemen. Well, I hope you slept well.
Never mind about that. What about this?
Arid pastures.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
You can't enforce this agreement, and you know it. And furthermore...
Bless you, sir, I wouldn't dream of forcing it. If you don't want the place, you just tear it up.
Oh?
Mind you, now your jobs at the ministry are finished, it'd be a nice place to retire to,
Nevertheless,
wouldn't it?
What do you mean we're not due to retire?
Our jobs at the ministry aren't finished.
Of course not.
Well, they will be, won't they? When the newspapers get all the photographs I took last night.
Newspaper?
Photograph?
Yeah, at our little...
What photographs?
Well, at our little party, you know, you two gentlemen, you were so merry and friendly with all the drinking and laughing and that. I thought we should have a few pictures, eh?
Ooh, I don't like the sound of this. Wish I could remember what happened last night.
Well, for instance, you, sir. I got a good one of you. Riding up and down and shouting, "Forward the Light Brigade!" and waving your umbrella.
Did I do that? Well, it sounds a bit flamboyant, perhaps, but there's nothing basically wrong with riding up and down.
But it looks a bit daft on our old black sound.
Oh, my goodness. I think I'd better sit down for a minute.
You really were rather indiscreet, one. It's all coming back to me. You kept shouting, "Tally-ho," and trying to make him jump over his trough. I remember it now.
Well, you should do. You was lying in the trough. Bail it out, you were, with your bowler hat and singing the Eating Boating song.
Oh.
Yeah, I got 2 or 3 copies of that one, haven't I?
Well, I'd rather not see them, thank you.
Well, I doubt if the newspapers will feel the same way. I think they'll be very interested.
Just a minute. You mean we keep quiet about your rhubarb, or you publish the pictures? This is blackmail, Mr. Burns?
Well, I just leave you talking over amongst yourselves. Now, come along, Rebecca.
Brownlow, have we heard from Hamilton, Jones and Lamb on that Burge business?
No, Mr. Wright, not a word.
It's strange. It's over a week since they went down there. I suppose they're back in their offices, are they?
No, I rang their department this morning. Nothing's been heard of them at all. They're rather worried.
Worried, are they?
Yes, it seems Mr. Lamb has taken their teaspoon with him.
They've disappeared like that Bristol chap. I shall have to go down there myself. Order my car for 2:15, will you?
Haven't you forgotten this afternoon's meeting of the marketing board? There are those new proposals from the research department.
Yes, of course. I can't leave till tomorrow, then. You'd better have the car here in the morning, first thing, 11:30.
Look, we've got to try something, man. We've been stuck in this terrible country pub for a week, and the truce expires tomorrow. If Burge doesn't get written permission to grow rhubarb of any length, he'll send these pictures to the Daily Mirror.
Yes, well, I know the terms of the truce, thank you very much. I negotiated myself. Give me time to think. Time to get things in perspective and work out a just and sensible solution.
Oh, and have you thought of one?
No.
No. Well, I wish you'd give more thought to our problem and less to that American magazine you found in the bar.
True. If anything can help us, this book can. See this article?
What? Persuasion pays people-wise. What does that mean?
It's by a top American psychiatrist, Julius J. Snyder. He says you can get anybody to do anything if you put it the right way. Try and make them and they won't. But ask them nicely and they will.
We should introduce Mr. Snyder to Mr. Bird.
That, my dear fellow, is exactly what I propose to do. His methods, anyway. I see now he tackled Birds wrongly from the first. You adopted a hostile, masterful attitude, so he reacted. Now, tonight I'll talk to Birds the Snyder way, show him the rules are for his benefit, explain that by breaking them he lets the country down.
Well, if you persuade him to destroy those photographs and cut his rhubarb, I'll eat the first 4 sticks myself. Raw.
Well, friends, that be the last of the rhubarb cut. All pink and pretty and regulation length.
Well done, Nathaniel. That country's proud of you.
Well, it does my heart good to hear that. We pass this way but once, I say.
And in the case of this place, I say so, too.
And thank you, Nathaniel, for the photographs. They're all in this envelope, are they?
That's right, sir. Now, I want you both to have a good look round the farm before you go. See if I'm breaking any other rules without knowing, like. Must have everything how the government wants it. You showed me that last night, H.J.
I'm sure we both learnt a lot from each other, Nathaniel.
No. It was you who made me see the light. I'll not forget that little rhyme you taught me. What sort of place would England be if every chap behaved like I? Hello, who can that be? Bit early for old George's taxi, isn't it? Well, I'd better go and see. Rebecca's out the back.
Oh, I don't know what you were telling him till 4 o'clock this morning, but it certainly worked.
Well, I appeal to his spirit of fair play, his common sense, and finally his patriotic feelings. And, of course, my mention of a possible spread of Robinson's rhubarb rot may have helped.
Oh, was that why I spent the night painting white spots on the larger leaves?
Not so loud. Anyway, the main thing is his whole crop stacked in neat 14-inch lengths, ready for market. Our job's done and everybody's happy.
This way, sir. There they are.
I found you at last, you two. London's been very worried about you. Thought you'd disappeared.
No, we've been guests of our good friend Mr. Bird here.
Well, it's a pity you missed yesterday's meeting of the Rhubarb Marketing Board. We made some important decisions.
Did you?
Our research chemists have made a major breakthrough. They've now discovered that longer rhubarb has more vitamins. Now, guess what?
You tell us, Mr. Wright.
As from this morning, no rhubarb can be marketed less than 16 inches long. That will be good news for you, Mr. Bird.
Dang and blast me. Rebecca, fetch me my gun.
Now, steady, Nathaniel, steady. Don't let's be crude about this. Mr. Wright, I'm sure you must be very thirsty after your long journey. Why don't you try a little of this excellent rhubarb wine?
Very well, then. And later on, you can put me in the picture.
In the picture? Don't worry, Mr. Wright. We'll put you in the picture.
That's good.
Muddling through as the men from the Ministry were Wilfred Hyde-White and Richard Murdoch, with Roy Dotrice, Brian Elton, and Patricia Hayes. The Men from the Ministry is written and produced by Edward Taylor.
Wilfred Hyde-White is now appearing in Miss Pell is Missing at the Criterion Theatre, London.
That was episodes 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 of The Men of the Ministry as broadcasted on the BBC. Well, that is it for Airchecks. Airchecks is a 3-hour podcast uploaded every Saturday as well as played on the K-Tai radio network every Sunday at noon Pacific Time. See you at the same time and same channel.